Welcome to J&J with Mone.
That's gotta be kidding! Rollins with the heist of the century!
Volume 8. She totally forgot to say it, but we're on volume 8, you guys. Let's go.
And we just want to thank everyone for joining us tonight. It is going to be an exciting night. I had really a lot of fun last time. As you can see, unfortunately, our co-host Jay is unable to join us tonight, but the show must go on, so we will continue. And
love you, brother.
We will be back on Wednesday with him. So we are going to be talking AEW and SmackDown today, along with the most hardcore matches of all time, or what other people may consider the most hardcore matches.
Yeah,
you guys can be the judge of that. So, starting in, we're going to welcome our first guest. I'll let his intro play before I do his introduction. The one and only
Macho Owens.
Oh, yeah. Let me tell you, brother. I've come to put some SmackDown on the show. That's what I'm talking about. Top of the line, brother. You know what? I'm telling you. Where's Reckless? Reckless ain't here. He's a grain of sand in the Sahara Desert. I'm the Sahara Desert. Where are you at, Reckless? I was coming for you. I knew you wouldn't be here. You don't want any of these guns, Reckless. That's okay. The show must go on, Reckless.
You giving JLH a run for his money.
I am digging the cape.
Am I? Yes.
Love it so much. Thank you so much, Eric, from joining us from Two Boys and Their
Pops.
We're so happy to have you on. So what we usually do with our guests is we kind of gauge where you are with wrestling. And so we're going to ask you who your favorite wrestler is and the craziest match you've seen of all time.
Oh, well, Elizabeth is my girl. So the lovely Elizabeth, she's always perched. Right now, she's getting some steaks. She's not here right now. But lovely Elizabeth. So as you should know, Macho Man Owens, that's me. Macho Man Randy Savage, he's a cousin of mine. Man, so Randy, Macho Man Savage, always enjoyed the excitement. Always enjoyed the stage presence. So the interviews with him, so that was probably one of my favorite. I remember going to Anaheim and watching some of the steel cage matches when I was younger in high school. And, one of the ones that, also stood out to me, was the British Bulldogs. I really like the British Bulldogs, and they went up against the Hart Foundation. And just having those tag team matches, and that's kind of what got me into the wrestling. And then of course, with Hogan in WrestleMania, picking up Andre the Giant, and being able to do that,
that was crazy moments.
I mean, that's something you don't think about, and then as you see later, from one torch being handed over from one generation to another, when you have The Rock going up against Hogan, and I mean, that was a crazy match, So yeah, I mean, wrestling, is one of those things where I've watched a lot of it in the past, and there's a lot of, great characters, like Kamala, the gun, Kamala,
George Kamala, yeah.
George the Animal Steel, Ted DiBiase. I mean, it's like, just watching wrestling has always been something I've enjoyed growing up. Now, getting back into it is new now for me. And basically that's happened through you guys, just watching some of your lives and being able to get some of the knowledge, and just seeing that. So, and like I said, I appreciate you guys having me on. Wrestling's a lot of fun, and I did prepare for some questions to throw at you guys. So, I'm looking forward.
We're ready for it.
We are ready for it. But first, I want to ask you a question. When you went to this steel cage match, what did the steel cage look like? Was it like those old school blue ones, like the big square?
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was they had it was like a Royal Rumble type where they're all coming in, you know, and basically the last one out was going to win. You know, and so they would announce them. Basically, one would get in and start fighting, and then like it was like 2 minutes later, also another one would come in. I mean, you had guys coming from all directions.
That's it.
And that's, you know, as the Anaheim Convention Center, and you know, it's just one of those things I remember because my friend, he was in high school, and he was really big into wrestling too, and he's the one that kind of took me and got me into it, and just that whole awe of being at a wrestling match. I mean, even though you know that
it's crazy.
a lot of it is staged, you know, beforehand, but at the same time, there's a lot that goes on, you know, with the hits, and you know, there's a lot of stuff in it that you can't quite fake, you know. So I mean, you do see that side of it as well, and very entertaining, and it's just one of those things that stays with you. You know, and you're like, okay, I'm hooked. You know, I like this.
It's a whole new experience. It's different. Like when you're watching it on TV and going there and seeing it in person, it's way more fun. It's like it's a totally different like ballpark.
So
well, it's like hockey. It's like hockey. You go to a hockey game. I mean, a hockey game is just crazy in person. You know, you watch it on TV, it's not as much, but when you go in person, it's crazy. You know, wrestling's the same thing. I mean, when you're going to a wrestling match and you get to hear that and, you know, see everything, you know, it's awesome.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I love hockey too, so.
Well, thank you, Eric, for the intro. And now we're going to move on to our next guest. We will have JLH. He is returning back to the show. Welcome.
Oh, yeah. Not only am I returning, but I'm returning to let everybody know that Macho Owens isn't half bad at the impressions. Not at all, no way. The only thing he hasn't done yet is the J elbow drop just like that. Yeah. So when you do the J elbow drop, you might just be a little bit extra. You know what I'm saying? Ooh, yeah. I watch your videos. I see the hostess with the mostest out there saying how extra you are. Ooh, yeah. Extra cheese, baby. Right off the top rope. Just like I dropped on Rick Martel in '87 at the Montreal Forum. So right here, right now, on proper Simone, the hostess with the mostest. Ooh, yeah. And the Macho Owens. We are the cream that is rising to the top. Ooh, yeah. What's up, guys?
So let's vote. Who had the best promo?
I'm going Macho Owens.
Gosh, I can't even.
And sincere, gosh darn it.
I couldn't even tell them apart. Like they're the same Macho Man.
Dueling Macho Mans here on the show, everybody.
We're taking over the world.
The universe. Why stop at the world? You know what I'm saying?
Well, welcome back, JLH. And
thank you for having me.
No problem. Question of the night: craziest match you have seen.
Heard of?
I want to say in person for you. In person, the craziest match you've seen in person.
In person for me would be anything, quote unquote, ECW I saw live in the mid '90s in Massachusetts. But I will say I was live and in person at the mass transit incident where New Jack. That wasn't necessarily a match per se. I mean, it was, but the thrust of that was New Jack gouging a guy so deep that it became a beyond the ring wrestling story. So if you ever want to see true blood and gore in professional wrestling, look up the mass transit incident from Revere, Massachusetts. And I was there in that really weird crowd. and I still have my Taz Tap Out t-shirt from that very show, gosh darn it. Older than both of you, probably.
So was it worse than Abdullah the Butcher? You know how you'd always bring stuff out of his pants and you know, give the old stabbing to his opponents?
Nothing could be worse than Abdullah the Butcher based on the fact that he had confirmed hepatitis C. Nothing to laugh at, but hey. Yeah. But Abdullah was a violent individual. And again, I highly suggest if you're going to talk Abby, just skip right to him and Bruiser Brody matches and call it a day. Because him and Bruiser Brody had matches that I would, if there was people say, what's your dream match, this and that and the other. It wasn't necessarily dream matches at this point for me. It was matches that I wasn't able to see because I was in parts of the countries that allowed that per se in the time. So I wasn't around. I was a kid in Bruiser Brody and Abdullah the Butcher wrestling in Texas. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like I can just get up and go to Texas. So that's my dream match, is to see Bruiser Brody and Abdullah the Butcher in '85 at the Sportatorium. You know what I'm saying?
You're always specific with dates. Always.
Yeah, he like, dude. He remembers where he was. Like, let me just pick a date. Where were you today in 2000? Well, let me see, like 1937.
I was clean in my great grandfather's eye.
All right, and let's introduce our last guest, Dangerous Jobbers. Welcome,
There they are.
How you doing, guys?
What's up, man?
Duco.
Where's your macho
I
man?
didn't know he was just here and then
What happened there?
Retribution is taking over the show. What's going on?
Wait, why Retribution?
Oh, it is.
What's going on?
I forgot my title. Oh crap.
It was like a Sabu blackout where like the lights go out. Next thing you know, Sabu's like,
Everything was real nice and cool until the man comes around with his ECW title.
when the man comes around.
What kind of champion is this though? The champion didn't even bring her belt. Like,
Wait,
I got
it was
mine
right
today.
Right?
That's today, okay?
She doesn't need to bring it. It's a virtual belt. It just goes.
There we
Yeah,
go.
man.
There we go.
When we're talking about hardcore stuff, I had to bring out my title, man. I had to bring out the
100%, baby.
ECW title. Ain't
There's
nothing
no-
more hardcore than that.
Mine's hung up, and you should be tired like an old battleship back there.
Ain't nothing more dangerous than this
brother.
right here.
I got my belt.
Oh, that was all.
I got my
Oh, that's all
belt.
leather. That's
That's
all
always
leather.
the best question. The best
Yo,
question-
I need that belt. I need. How'd you
The best-
find that? Where do you
the
get a
best
belt
is the-
like that?
The best
Yeah,
pro wrestling question is, pro wrestlers, why do they wear belts when they don't wear pants? You know what I'm saying? So
That is the
Hey.
question of all time right there.
I mean, and then you got those wrestlers like Cody Rhodes and Hulk Hogan who would wear that thing with just tights, like
Mm-hmm.
the weight belt, brother.
yeah.
So,
They were wearing the waist trainer.
oh god, no. Before waist trainers were a thing. Stevie and Duke. So, what's the craziest match you guys seen ever?
Whether it be on television, in person, it could just be something you heard of, like.
There's a lot of them for me. One that sticks out is probably gonna have to be Sandman and Tommy Dreamer versus the Dudleys One Night Stand. Like I know a lot more hardcore matches than that, but that one just happens to stick out to me.
One of the best entrances you'll ever see in professional wrestling is from that particular Sandman entrance. But too bad you can't find it anywhere because YouTube has scrubbed it from public view. And
I would enter Sandman or something, right?
Yeah, it was amazing, and you can't see it publicly anywhere anymore. I've tried because that's one of my favorite entrances ever.
I remember that.
He had the shirt on 2 days in a row. It was the first time, or 2 videos in a row.
That's how much I like the Sandman. You know what I'm saying? But yes, I owe it to you. I owe it to you to breaking kayfabe as far as the shirts go.
He's definitely my favorite person from ECW.
100%. Even the terrible Nintendo Wii version of WWE that came out like in 2011, he was even a decent character in that. You know?
In the game.
Yeah.
What about
that Wii version of WWE versus ECW is one of the worst video games ever. It was like from 2008 or 9. Terrible wrestling game.
You're talking about like Raw versus SmackDown versus ECW?
I think, yes, that one, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Terrible Wii version of that game, and that was the first one that was supposed to have the ability to, like, the commercial looked like you were slamming Andre in '87 with the Wii sticks, you know? And I'm like, I can't wait to waste a bunch of money on this Wii. And then you get there, and it's like, it looks like you're doing something like that, you know? Sorry, delete.
That's it. It's getting demonetized now.
Stevie, what about you?
This kind of went like really extreme. I feel like I shouldn't go with the one I was gonna go with.
Well, I mean, the today is hardcore, so might as well.
What about the most hardcore match you ever seen?
Well, that's the one I couldn't think of. I think
the one we seen live.
The craziest match that I really loved that I remember was probably Cactus Jack versus Triple H at the Royal Rumble.
Oh, the one where he bit his ear off?
Was that the feud where Cactus Jack? Was that the feud where Mick came and he like changed from there was a SmackDown promo where he
came from Mankind to Cactus Jack.
Best promo out of him in a long time is that particular 30 seconds. Because even Allison, who doesn't watch wrestling in the sense of getting characteristics like that, when she saw Foley do that change over to like however
like
he did that,
all three Foleys.
It was worth buying the Royal Rumble on the WWE Network for $9.99 a month to watch.
All right.
One of my favorites.
Let's get to business. We are going to start off with AEW tonight. So I know we had some breaking news during our last live and everybody was going crazy. So as one of the things we were going to talk about tonight, he's really nervous because he has no idea what we're talking about.
I have no idea what we're going to talk about tonight. She wrote everything and did everything. I just made the promo. That's it.
Okay.
He's going in blind.
Yeah. And that's the best way to do it, right? So first thing I want to bring up is Matt Hardy. He came in and he started talking. He really didn't do anything when he first got there. He just pretty much talked the whole time. And he kind of talked about him having an injury, but he never went into depth about it. So what do you guys think his injury is actually, or do you think he is injured?
I definitely believe he's hurt in some type of way, shape, or form. Like whether it's, a serious injury or not, but I believe he is hurt, and I actually liked the promo that he did because to me, we talked about this on the pod. It feels like it was coming from Matt Hardy, the person, and not Matt Hardy, the wrestler.
It did.
Like it felt
I
like
was really expecting somebody to like interrupt or something. I didn't, you know what I'm saying? So it caught me off guard with like how to feel about it because I'm like, okay,
it definitely did.
But it was cool because he basically talked about how he's gonna come when he does come back full 100% healthy. He's gonna be getting some gold.
Yeah,
exactly what kind of gold, but I can only assume.
It kind of reminded me of when Jeff Hardy left in 2009, and he's like, "This is not goodbye forever. This is just goodbye for now." And it kind of felt like
that long.
When he left in 2009, was that the second time he left?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's when he went back to TNA. That's kind of what it felt like. It felt like he's trying to take care of some stuff and then come back. So it kind of, I do believe Matt's injured, but I don't think it's anything super serious.
I think I don't know how long he's going to be out, but is he holding a title right now currently or no?
No, Matt doesn't have a title.
Nope.
Okay. So because if you saw the footage of him,
I didn't see it still. I still didn't see that.
I think concussion, like a real like severe concussion, honestly. When his wife was there in the audience,
the hell out of me.
Yeah, well, that's when you were saying that it came from the Matt Hardy, the person, and not the wrestler. With his wife being in the audience too, I think that it like hit a little bit closer to home for him. So he was like really speaking from the heart at that time. So
yeah,
well, he hit the pavement hard, right? I mean, as he came down.
Yeah, you could literally see the head bounce because he was supposed to go through 2 tables and he missed the first one, and his head literally bounced off the concrete like a basketball.
Yeah.
Oh.
He's a goat for sure for carrying.
He's definitely a super.
Thanks, Kano.
Oh, hey, Kano, thanks.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, I know, like, from experience, like, I was walking and slipped on ice, at the school. I work at a school, and it was starting to snow. And, like, I was just walking out to the cafeteria, and, I mean, I slipped on ice and hit my head hard on the ground. And, I mean, it does a lot to you, I mean, it puts you out. So, it's no joke when you're hitting. And I can only imagine what that would feel like because they were actually wrestling and, going through that. I was just walking and, hit it hard. So,
Consider the fact that he's 45 years old. I mean, number one, not to give away the secrets of life.
That old. I really do.
But I'm 45 years old too, just like him. And all I know is this is I'm no wrestler and I'm barely even physically active at this point in my life. But as much as I choose I mean, really, a donut shop is about my physical activity. But what I'm saying is him hitting his head from 15 feet off the ground on concrete. I know that if I stub my toe on a desk getting out of bed, I'm screaming and yelling like a child, So he's
I'm calling into work.
but I think it's more cervical than it is maybe even concussive. I think there's some bodily stuff maybe that incurred at the shoulder and neck level that might have took a hit or back, whatever, right?
Oh yeah,
I mean,
you never know.
And I had a multi-level spinal fusion for being a bottled water delivery guy, so I've been there with back stuff too, So he's hurt, but also he's got. But his thing is this. I think what he's probably said to them, it's, I'll see you when there's more of a. I don't think we see Matt Hardy till there's a break in the COVID. I don't think we see him back for at least 8 to 12 months.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, even by choice.
I mean, he deserves to have some time off. He literally went from the WWE straight over.
And one thing you don't do is anger Rebecca Hardy.
Oh no.
At all. And by the way, on Twitter, he's calling himself Matthew Hardy now. He's not calling himself Matt Hardy brand. He's not, he's not broken Matt Hardy. He's Matthew Hardy on Twitter. So if that's a gimmick thing, who knows or whatever, but that changed in the last 48 hours too. So
that's crazy.
Matt Hardy brand forever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So he's Matthew Hardy now. Again, he was also $1 Million Matt talking about being soaking Matt Hardy in his hot tub.
Big money Matt.
So you never know. He might be back in a week because it's a spin, But all I know is this: I think he's better off taking time off, being with his new baby, kids, and his wife. His house in North Carolina is one I would never want to leave. So I mean,
he's gotta come back at a pay-per-view. That'd be sick.
Yeah,
come back when it matters.
Mm-hmm. So the next match that we're gonna get into was Orange Cassidy versus Angelico.
It was a pretty short match.
It was a short match, and Orange Cassidy ended up getting the win. But then, of course, afterwards, he got attacked by the Inner Circle, and then what were their names again? I forget their names.
Ortiz.
Santana and Ortiz, and then the Best Friends came out to come help him. What do you guys think about that?
Like, do you think Chris Jericho was behind that, or do you think they felt compelled to do it on their own?
I think it's Jericho. I feel like the feud with them isn't necessarily over, even though it kind of should be.
I think it's like over, but it's like at the same time, it's
over, but it's like I didn't forget.
Yeah. It's kind of like John Cena and Randy Orton. If they saw each other today, it'd still be a rivalry.
When it's All Out, well, they announced All Out or something, or Full Gear. They announced Full Gear, right?
Yeah.
Pay-per-view in November. So it's probably leading to where it'll be a group War Games type deal or something between, Best Friends and Orange and some other people against Angelico and those other guys. It'll be a group effort in November.
Maybe it'll be Jericho and Ortiz and Santana.
Yeah, it'll be the Inner Circle and some other compadres against those guys and those guys. Maybe they can be now with the Elite breaking up. Who knows though? I mean, yeah, it's going to be an interesting one for Full Gear.
I was going to say, did the Elite completely break up?
Yes and no and yes and no. It's.
I mean, well, we got Cody Rhodes is out.
Oh
yeah,
and then then you got Hangman and Omega. They both broke up. So. Yeah. I mean, the brothers ain't gonna break up.
Yeah, obviously.
I mean, it'd be crazy if they did one day.
Well, I mean,
only the end of an era.
Kip Sabian, okay, he's a character. I'm not really familiar with him, but he was very dramatic at this AEW, and it was for a good reason because he had introduced
Dominic Mysterio.
Is it, how do you pronounce it? His new name?
Miro,
yeah.
AKA Rusev. He comes out walking into the ring and
that's his best man.
Yes, to his wedding, supposedly. I don't know.
But then his music came out and it was literally like on the Titantron, it literally said the best man. And then he was using that as his tag. Almost. It was like his music came out like the best man, and I don't know, it was weird. I don't know.
I don't know what was weirder. I'll tell you what was definitely weirder and worse. Remember how a couple weeks ago we were all complaining about Keith Lee's shorts?
Yeah.
What was going on with Rusev's Mickey Mouse gear? I didn't understand.
He was wearing all Gucci, but he had a Gucci.
It's a bomb off the streets to me, regardless whether it was a $30,000 Mickey T-shirt. It just looked like a guy who they pulled out of the crowd to be like.
He should have
he looked stupid and I was not impressed by. He should have come out and done the Rusev jump on or the whatever. He should have done something more than what he did because he looked bored, and he shouldn't have ripped off CM Punk.
I was literally gonna say I like that promo.
Did you? I like the. If he had just the brass ring thing belongs to CM Punk. You know what I'm saying? Or
there's a couple people that have done the brass ring thing.
I'll give you that. Yeah.
There's a couple people that have talked about that brass ring.
I know what they can do with that brass ring.
I loved it though. AEW will do him any justice since there was a specific. I'm sure there's a reason why he ended up getting cut from WWE and getting signed by them. Do you think they're gonna do them justice, or what do you guys think about that?
They'll definitely. I think they'll definitely do him better than WWE would.
Definitely. I think they have to beat Moxley. If they do, I hold off fully saying that based off what he looked like the other night and how he came out looking like he was at the library, but he's the one guy that they could give the nod to having former WWE experience and right. And if I'm not mistaken, him and Moxley as Dean Ambrose had something on SmackDown at some point in their past. So
I'm sure they did too for the Intercontinental title or something.
So there's history there.
So do you guys think he'll remain a solo, or do you think he'll be getting into a tag team at all?
Because right now it seems like he's in a tag team with Kip Sabian.
Yeah, I think he'll definitely wind up going on a solo run.
Yeah,
I do. If they do put the title on him, though, I'm gonna find it a little weird that AEW's first 3 world champions were former WWE superstars and not somebody that they found from the Indies.
I was just about to say that. Like, I hope that they expand them a little bit more and we get to actually see these wrestlers that we've grown to watch in the WWE fight these people that we've grown to watch in AEW, not give us the same feuds that we saw in WWE, but in their own twist.
But here's the problem when you involve, real life COVID-19 stuff and the inability to have arena houses and people's natural reaction to people they want to organically grow and lift. Like if Orange Cassidy had crowds behind him every night of the week, you might know, hey, is this a guy we can fully get behind and throw the rough, all this stuff, right? But the reason you're putting these belts on these guys that are former WWE guys is because these are guys that, came out of the tank at WrestleMania against John Cena. These are guys that were in the Shield. These are guys that had, have more gimmicks and been around for 25 years. AEW, as wonderful and as revolutionary and as, groundbreaking as it is giving these lower tier independent guys platforms to grow and go on. I'll tell you this much: as a 45-year-old man who's watched wrestling since 1980 or whatever, I wouldn't watch wrestling for Kip Sabian. I want to watch for Chris Jericho. You know what I'm saying?
No, I guess you got to establish them people first.
But Kip Sabian only gets established by going with Rusev now. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, someone like Kenny Omega could hold that title, and if
jazz hands.
Hey, you have Kenny do it. I think eventually with Lance Archer too.
Yeah, the Murder Hawk.
I don't know. I don't like him, but
one thing these bad guys in AEW and wrestling, and I get the kayfabe's dead and all that, but one thing these bad guys in wrestling need to do is stop going on Twitter and like Lance Archer is a great example. Lance Archer will go on Twitter and be like, "This is my niece," and have pictures of him and his niece together and stuff, and like having playing a good time in the living room. And I'm like, you're supposed to be this 6'10" monster or whatever, being this destructive bad guy, and you're showing me pictures of the family barbecue.
Everybody knows that. Everybody.
Yeah, nobody goes the Undertaker route anymore and actually keeps the character.
No one does it anymore.
That's the reason Jim Cornette exists.
So, do you guys think? For the Kenny Omega and Hangman, I know is it Kenny who blames Hangman, but do you guys think he's in the right for blaming him for them losing the title, or who is it to blame for them losing the title?
Just because I don't like Hangman, yes, blame Hangman.
Yeah, I'm not saying either. He's
a short, simple answer for me.
He's too stiff, and his promos ain't there yet.
It's not even that. It's just for me, he was the one guy.
Like he doesn't belong.
Yeah, he was just the one guy that felt like he didn't belong in the elite. I think Marty Scurll was better in the elite than.
Oh yeah,
Adam
definitely,
Page.
definitely.
All right, well, we'll move over to SmackDown. So yesterday was pretty intense. I think it was a really good episode. It started off with Russo or Jey Russo and
Jey Uso.
I said Jey Uso.
You said Russo.
Oh, well, okay. Jey Uso and Roman Reigns. Yeah, coming out to the ring, and they're cousins, so it's a family feud going on.
It was it was crazy weird.
And they did mention that it's Roman Reigns' first defense of the championship since he's had it, and Jey Uso's first run at a title, singles title. So it's like, for me, my question is, do you think that Jey is deserving of the moment that he has right now and the title, or just the moment? Because Roman seems to think he's just deserving of the moment and not the title.
Well, that's how the promo was set up. Kind of cool, but kind of weird. Like, hey, just like when we were kids, like, I'm going to kick your ass at the pay-per-view. Like, you stand no chance. And then Jey kind of just like didn't say nothing, like, except for, oh, well, we're grown men now. You know what I'm saying? It was kind of like weird. Like, why wouldn't you be like, nah, it's not going to go like that and cut some more? But it didn't. And then they ended up having a tag team match, and that was crazy too.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's always going to – I think he's worthy of the moment, but not the title.
Yeah. No.
There's plenty of other guys in there that are world champion material ahead of Jey Uso. Not to say Jey Uso's a bad singles competitor. But
he could definitely be on like an IG run. You can give him something like an IG or something like a
IC.
Yeah, I mean IC. Yeah, you could totally give him like an IC run or
even US title run or something like that.
US, yeah, I could see him do something like that. But to have the main title, especially when they're pushing Roman Reigns the way he is, like, they're doing him so good. Like, they're playing him good right now.
Yeah, there's plenty of things that they can do. There's just nothing that he can do to actually be worthy of being a world champion.
Not at all. And he's only had 15 years to do it. And like I told you last week, when Roman Reigns spears him out of his shoes or whatever pay-per-view they're going to wrestle at or whatever, and Jimmy comes out and Roman spears him too, these guys are just rungs on the ladder for Roman Reigns to assert his overdue dominance on the roster. And if it's not, it's going to become where the Usos become a clique. They're gonna make it where Paul's managing all those Samoans. It's going to be like Paul's going to be the modern day Captain Lou Albano. I advise you to go back in your history and go back and watch Captain Lou Albano, the manager of champions. People talk about who's the greatest manager of all time. Don't forget Captain Lou Albano, because he managed 16 World Tag Team Champions on top of Intercontinental Champions, and was a heck of a martini drinker one time that I got to have to do that with him. Saying that, the captain managed all the Samoans at one time or another. And Paul Lee Dangerously, if you go back in his history, he was a photographer for MSG Wrestling. And there's a photo of Paul Lee with the Grand Wizard of Wrestling, Captain Lou, Freddie Blassie, another manager at the time. I forget who it was. But in any event, Paul is a huge Lou Albano dude. He's the Lou Albano guy. And I guarantee you it's going to be Paul Heyman managing all of the Samoans, even possibly or Nia Jax or something. It'll all fall under Paul Heyman at one point soon as far as factions. Because, again, it looks like they're going with a faction-based company again with the Hurt Business and the Retributions and this and that. Why can't the Samoans all come together and do a family thing?
I mean, that would be cool, because they all would work really good heel. But do we want to see that right now? The first time we actually get to see Roman Reigns as a heel, is he automatically going to have his cousins?
Just comes down the line.
Yeah.
But where's Jimmy right now? Do you think that what will happen to them? Injury right now?
Yeah, Jimmy's still hurt.
Yeah.
Oh, so that makes sense.
He still has like another maybe 3 months or so, or 2 months before he has to come back.
Whatever it was bad.
I think it was a shoulder. I think it was the shoulder.
Yeah, like he tore his bicep.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's horrible. Yeah, I guess
An
so
18
it's fair to do something with Jay instead of him just being there and not being used, because he is used to being in a tag team with his brother. So I guess that makes more sense. Because I was wondering why, like, he came out of nowhere. Why are they using him? You know what I mean? It makes a little bit more sense to me. But the next topic is the women's fatal four-way. It was between Nikki Cross, Lacey Evans, Tamina, and Alexa Bliss.
I didn't see that at all. I didn't see that.
You didn't?
That was the one I didn't like show on.
Really? Yeah. It was
Yeah.
because the winner goes and fights Bailey at the Clash of Clans champion.
Oh.
Yeah, Clash of Champions pay-per-view in a couple weeks. So Clash of Clans, you caught that. But
You're also going to do the Candy Crush pay-per-view right after that. It's going to be amazing.
Nikki Cross won, and so do you guys think that she should have been given the opportunity again to go against Bailey, even though she's lost, to her before against the
Nikki Cross one?
Yeah.
Yeah, she ended up winning.
That surprised him.
I like Nikki Cross, but at this point, it doesn't matter who faces Bailey. She's beat everyone. So you can throw anyone out there until new comes along. It doesn't matter who wins.
I think she's gonna lose though.
I would have loved to see Alexa Bliss come back. You know what I'm saying, and do something. Like, it's been a while since we've seen her do something, and
I would. But
maybe
if she comes back as Sister Abigail instead of.
She did do that move though. On I think it was.
She did the Sister Abigail.
She did.
On Nikki
Cross.
On the floor, right?
But the thing is, Nikki pretended like something was wrong with her before the match too. Like she was maybe injured slightly or something to make people think that she was a little bit weaker or something. I don't know. But I was kind of like, I thought she wasn't going to be in the match, and she still ended up being in the match in the end. But I don't really think I want to see her as a champion anymore, because if you're not going to win it the first time, you're probably not going to win it the second, third, or the fourth time. Like, I don't know. It's just me. I'm sorry.
Dolph Ziggler.
Oh, Dolph Ziggler. Okay.
Shout out to Christina Payne too, dropping all them links down there.
Thanks, Christina.
And actually, Christina Payne has a channel. She has a YouTube channel. She's on her real close to 1K.
Yep.
Get her there. Darn it. Put her link in the
Reckless's shout out for tonight. So we will do that a little bit later, right during trivia. We'll do our little shout outs. And Reckless wanted to shout out Christina tonight. So yeah, they said that
Yep.
Yeah. So we're excited about that. Congratulations, Christina, on that. AJ's okay, so Sami Zayn. Okay, so here's my thing. Here, before I get into this whole thing, right? Because Sami Zayn. Sorry, you guys. I'm gonna be horrible tonight. Okay,
Sorry,
but he's the Intercontinental Champion, and WWE gave the wrestlers a chance to opt out or continue to wrestle right when COVID started to happen, and he decided to opt out. So they stripped him of the title. Do you think when it comes to, because he's not the only one that was stripped of his title either, but do you think that they should be allowed, that they should do that to, a title holder if they get opted out?
I'm gonna say yes, because if I don't go to work tomorrow because of COVID, they ain't gonna pay me. So what's gonna be the difference? It might be in their clause, we're just not gonna see the title until he decides that he wants to come back to wrestling. Like, you know what I mean?
Brock Lesnar.
You're not Brock. You beat me to it.
He could damn near be the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion, just never coming back on TV.
There used to be a clause for that, like the 60-day clause or something like that.
30-day clause.
30 days.
What's it? What was the
if you didn't defend your belt in a certain period of time, you lose the belt anyway.
Time in pro wrestling is very subjective, and if you actually ever sit and watch a Royal Rumble, you can actually you can look at any Royal Rumble across the history of time. You can literally, Allison and I did it. We timed Royal Rumble entrances. The 2 minutes sometimes is either 3 minutes or what. There's never true time in pro wrestling. You know what I'm saying? So the 30-day clause, while in effect in the wrestling bylaws, is the law. Ronnie Garvin, I'll give you a great example. Ronnie Garvin was the NWA World Champion. By happenstance and circumstance and all the other stances, somehow he beat Ric Flair, and then
I'm gonna tell you, these
dirtiest player in the game.
These suspend or taking the title away or giving up the title due to injury things and whatever and whatnot don't make sense to me, because sometimes they'll like with Naomi, I think that was weird how she had to give it up, but then there's people that don't have to give it up. I don't know, it's weird. Like,
well, when it's a real injury, they gotta give it up. When it's a kayfabe,
Apollo Crews didn't show up for the pay-per-view. Why does he have the title? You know what I'm saying? Like, if you don't show up for the pay-per-view, you lose the title. MVP champion then. So that doesn't make any sense. They just do it based off how, it's Vince McMahon's world at the end of the day. Vince McMahon goes, you know what? I don't care. I'm going to change the rules today and then change them back tomorrow. Like, so at the end of the day, we never know what's going to go through that man.
We just do that a lot.
There's been many versions of the wrestling bylaws for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So there was a match with I forgot the Hardy name.
Jeff Hardy
and AJ Styles for the just for a match. It was just a regular match. And Sammy ended up coming out and making AJ Styles DQ for interfering. Not only did he attack Sammy, but he attacked Ed Hardy as well. And it was like, why are you so upset? You're the one that decided that you wanted to opt out willingly. So what did you think was going to happen? You think they were just going to hold on to your title? So I don't know if they're like playing on that as far as the script goes, but
I'll say it like
I feel like sometimes he may be a little bit mad, like in real life too.
I mean, well, yeah, he's definitely mad in real life.
He tweeted
he
something the
probably
other
is
day.
in real life, like mad, but at the same time, like, what was the real story, like real life story, on why he just didn't wrestle for all this time? Is it just because his visa didn't like let him travel because of COVID or what?
I assume he opted out for the health purposes.
Yeah, I think he opted out.
Yeah,
Sami
he's
Zayn
He's opted out to going somewhere. So.
Yeah, he opted out.
Is he Hasidic Jew? Isn't there something? He has a religious background that also prevents him from going to Saudi Arabia shows.
Yeah, so, he was one of the few that opted out of Saudi Arabia. Same with Daniel Bryan.
Yeah.
Hey, Sassy Cajun.
Hey,
what's up?
I just think that it's just annoying sometimes when they get mad and interrupt the match. Like, let the match be done and over with. Let whoever needs to win, and then do what you have to do afterwards. But, like, just to make him DQ, they think that they're foreshadowing that they're going to be a triple threat match between the three of them.
And I don't want to see that. I don't want to see it. I want to see a one-on-one match between the two people who have the championships, like real or fake. I want to see the match between the two people. I don't want to see the match between the three people. Like, AJ Styles needs to step back.
So you don't think he should have got the Intercontinental title to begin with?
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about, like, he shouldn't be fighting for the Intercontinental Championship.
I think they're just doing that because AJ Styles is a top guy and he's getting big money. And they got to get their money's worth out of him, so they're putting him somewhere where they can show his face.
We need to put AJ Styles with Roman Reigns just based off the Paul Heyman stuff alone. That's got to happen at some point. AJ Styles and Reigns, something's got to go on
there.
Yeah, I think I think you saved that one for like a bigger pay-per-view.
Down the line, but again, AJ's got to get away from these two guys because like he's a fifth wheel, you know.
I would love to see that in the Rumble.
Yeah,
at the Rumble as a title match at the Royal Rumble. That I would love to see.
100%.
So the next match is Lucha House Party versus Cesaro and his partner. Yes, thank you. I was waiting because I could never. I don't want to keep watching people's names.
She can't say it.
And it was a tag team match with Kalisto and Grand Metal Leak, and so it was one of my favorite matches just because of what happened. So Cesaro and his tag teammate had showed up to Raw to challenge the Street Profits for Clash of Champions. And so they returned the favor. And instead of going into the ring, though, they literally had a party backstage, like a huge party with just like women running around everywhere, them drinking and stuff. Yeah, it was hilarious. So they ended up distracting Cesaro, and they won the tag team. I don't think that they should have won that way specifically, though. But because they're very talented, so I think that they would have won on just their own merit alone. But I don't think that they needed that distraction per se. But it was nice because it was kind of like in your face to Cesaro and Nakamura. So
what happened afterwards? Why do you have Kalisto and Grand Metalik? Just because
these are just my notes. You're just all in my notes.
Okay.
I think that whole storyline is a little weird. The
Lucha House Party?
No, not the Lucha House Party. Cesaro, Sheamus, and
Nakamura.
Montez and.
Why do you think it's weird? Just because
I was blanking on their name for a second. It's just weird. Yeah, I think it's weird because that's showing me you don't really have faith in your tag team division, that you're putting the Raw champions and the SmackDown champions up together, and it's not even Survivor Series season yet.
That's true.
What's the point of this?
Well, they're gonna unite the both the tag team championships. So what do you mean why? That's better. Then they can jump ship and go fight on both shows and go.
I don't really think you need to.
I like when they do that personally.
Yeah, I don't. For me, it's like I don't see the point of it because you have enough talent to where you can either have good tag teams or you can create something. And
yeah, that's true.
If you have one set of tag titles,
opportunity to do much. Like they seem like they're a very strong team, and from what I've seen them wrestling, like they never really win much matches, but they have the talent to do so. So I don't think they're really giving them an opportunity per se, but they got the opportunity yesterday, which was nice for them.
Yeah, that's another thing. If you keep 2 tag titles around, you can have more opportunities for more people. If you leave 1 tag title around, then you're going to have the big names like the Usos, the New Day, Sheamus and Cesaro, the Street Profits. People like Lucha House Party and any other tag team ain't really going to have a viable opportunity.
Yeah, there's no room to grow other.
What do you think, JLH?
I mean, I just want to see Sheamus and Cesaro become a tag team again. So however we can make that happen. Yeah. Because they are. Yeah, I like the Bar as a tag team, and I mean, maybe that's where it's going. Maybe that's where it's going because they were, they were a solid tag team. But they just, I don't know. There's the tag. We all know this tag team isn't Vince's priority in the end. So I mean,
at the end of the day, no. You don't care.
Cesaro and Nakamura do seem like an odd tag team. Honestly.
They were just kind of placed together. Like
Nakamura should never become a bad guy. He should have. I mean, that killed him when he became a heel.
Cesaro was the type of guy. He became the type of guy that's like you just throw him in with someone else and make a tag team out of it. I think Cesaro's like an 8-time tag champion.
After Tyson Kidd,
Tyson Kidd was, yeah, when he was a tag team with Tyson Kidd, that worked. You know what I'm saying? Anybody that Cesaro goes in a tag team with usually always works. But
he became the tag team utility guy. I think he's like an 8-time tag champion with like 5 different people.
If the day ever comes that Cesaro goes to AEW, that's one I would be definitely interested in seeing what would go down.
Oh yeah, that would be crazy.
Oh yeah, and he would go back to his indie name. Yeah, I would like to see that.
Yeah.
What was his indie name?
I think it was. What was it, Claudio Castagnoli or something?
Claudio Castagnoli or something like that.
Yeah. Claudio Castagnoli when he fought Kevin Steen in Ring of Honor.
Wow.
And then for the last topic of SmackDown, it goes back to the family feud. It was King Corbin and Sheamus came out and they were upset about Uso or Jay getting the opportunity to do a title because they were saying, Roman pulled strings for his family and he didn't really deserve for the moment and everything. I don't really know why. I don't understand that match, but I understand them, where they're coming from if it can seem that way. But in the end, Jay and Roman Reigns end up winning the match.
Well, they had a tag team match against them too.
Yeah.
You didn't say that.
Yes, I did.
They had a 1-on-2 for the most part.
They had a 1-on-2 for the most part, and then, like I said, like I was saying,
came in and
Vince
did all
McMahon does what he does best and makes up rules because now you can just, the bell rings without the other partner coming out.
The other partner after, yeah.
And then all of a sudden it just like becomes a one-on-one, and then all of a sudden this guy can just come in out of nowhere, and then he can show up whenever.
Vince, like,
hold on, because he's been doing this for forever. JLH might like this. The other day I was on the network and I was watching a really old In Your House from 1995. That's on September 24th. It was HBK and Diesel against
Owen and Yokozuna.
Owen and Yokozuna, and Owen was missing the whole night.
Yes. Yep.
So it ended up being Yokozuna and the British Bulldog.
Yeah.
And at the end of the match, Owen Hart just appeared.
Yes.
And they pinned Owen Hart and won the tag team championships.
I literally thought that whole night.
Like he wasn't there.
I always thought that whole night that they were going to screw. Like I thought that's where like Diesel and Shawn might have given up some creative control. It's like, okay, they'll have Yoko and Owen win or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But nope, they became two dudes with attitudes and two chaps with all the straps. And
something different with Roman. Like, okay, he did the same thing at Payback. You know what I'm saying? Like they. The Fiend and Braun Strowman did all the work, and then he came out of nowhere.
Hey, right shouldn't leave. I like the attitude.
It's like it's your family, though. You put in the same amount of work, and then do what you have to do.
No, he's trying to show him like, yo, family, like I'm the guy. I'm the guy.
Like I'm gonna give you your moment. Like he's like, I'm gonna give you your moment, but I'm gonna whoop your ass in that moment.
Right. You did this slight like tag, like he just touched him, and then it was like that was crazy. He did all the work and just got no credit for it at the end of the day. But Jay a punk. Jay is a punk because after
his little cousin just stayed outside the ring and was like,
he just walked with him like it was cool. Like
wait, and then he got so mad that he did that too. He looked at him like, "Don't touch me like that again." Like that's what he mouthed at the end, right before they like had went off of air, and I was like. Wow, really? This used to be a prima donna? Okay.
Hey, he doing his thing.
Big Dog sold out, man.
It was.
He didn't sell out. He bought in.
Yeah,
I really want his cousin to win, but I don't think he is.
He bought into that.
That's gonna be my prediction in the fight. But we're gonna get into our trivia for the
trivia time. Bet you going down.
Yeah.
Trivia time.
We aren't having any giveaways. It's just who knows what more than the other person. You guys.
I'm curious too. I just have to say, I'm curious. I just know that Macho Owens he has questions for us.
Yeah, can't wait to I'm like, let me hear these questions.
Oh yeah, I have questions. So I mean, I'll definitely throw some your way after the trivia. No problem.
You can actually do some right now. We'll wait for people to join the game if you like.
Yeah. So. One of the things that let me get myself here together. So, real quick, gotta look. I wrote a few of them down, so I want to make sure I kind of want to know which direction I want to go, brother. So, let's see here. Let's see where I want to go. So, you guys are talking about with the females a little bit earlier, right? With the wrestlers for the females.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's see.
Okay, I got a lot of them. That's why I just want to make sure I get that one that I wanted to ask. Well, let's just go. Let's go with how about Seth Rollins? Okay. Seth, would you say Seth Rollins is a great capitalization by the WWE? As he seems to pretty much be bulletproof, or is he just like a hot trend?
No, he's definitely protected by the WWE. He can say whatever he wants to say on Twitter. He could be caught with naked photos, and it'd be all cool. He can do whatever he wants to do. He's already been caught doing all that stuff, and he's fine. Like he gets no repercussions.
I remember now. Yeah. It took me a second. I had to think. What was he talking about?
No, he could get caught. He could get caught doing anything. He could have a DUI right now, and unlike the Usos, he'll be on TV the next day.
Well, they actually have been on TV the next day.
Yeah,
I'll be right back.
Listen, when you're part of a certain family, you get a buy.
So yeah, I mean, I love Seth Rollins. I've been a fan of his since Shield days, but I've been more so a fan of him since he first turned on the Shield. Like that's my favorite title run.
Yeah,
that's my favorite title run of the last like decade.
That's my favorite version of Seth.
I was a fan.
So
of
you don't
Seth,
think he's a hot trend then? You don't think that
no.
You think he's the real deal? Okay.
He's the real deal. He'll be around. He's going to be our this generation's Randy Orton pretty much. He's going to be that solid two guy.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So the other question, since you guys are talking about females, right? You guys are talking about female wrestlers.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to see what is the biggest difference between the women and men's wrestling. Now I know obviously men, they got the muscles and everything like that, but are the women? Are they doing just as many difficult moves? Do women wrestlers, do they have to shine in a shorter period?
Yes, I think they do. I think they have way less time to grow into their character and to prove their charisma, and they got the it factor. I think they have less time than anybody else.
So are they doing as many difficult moves as the guys are?
Well, definitely.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Charlotte
sometimes they're doing even more crazy stuff.
She does.
Dude, that thing that Charlotte Flair does off the scares me every time.
Look at what just happened on NXT. You don't see many people doing the bumps that Rhea Ripley and Mercedes Martinez just did.
Yep. The girls are more crazy than the guys are right now, to be honest, because they're trying to prove themselves. They're trying to be like, yo,
they got that chip on their shoulder.
Yeah, and that's how Bianca
has much time to develop their character, so they have to show more in-ring work.
Yep, exactly. Because they need to show that they're more than just a pretty face.
Or they better be able to talk one heck of a game and cover up all of the terribleness, and that's that. Because again, in the end, pro wrestling is 90% talking them in and 10%, wrestling half the time.
Exactly, because you can look at someone like Peyton Royce, and she's got a lot, but she's not great in the ring. You know what I'm saying? She's got and she's gotten worse since the debut of the Iconics. I don't know what it is, but since she jumped from NXT to the main roster,
that's what always happens.
Yeah, I was gonna say, look at Becky. They gave Becky a microphone, and Becky just started creating magic when she started talking.
Mm-hmm.
Not a lot of people are a fan of her, Mone, but she's actually doing something.
Hey, I'm not either. I don't like her either. I hate Becky Lynch.
I love Becky. What are you talking about?
I mixed it up.
You mixed it up. She likes her. I don't.
I hated her for a long time.
Until when?
Became Kill Bill. And I was like, all right, I'm on board.
The man came around. That's what happened.
When she turned into the man, I liked her. But before that, I was
if you look at the four horsewomen, she's the way bottom one. To me,
she was ranked fourth until the man came around.
Yeah, that is okay. No.
She was the lowest on the totem pole.
I think Hugger Bailey was the lowest on the totem pole.
Who?
No way, bro. Babe, Becky Lynch sucks. And even as the man, she sucks.
Yeah.
100%. Becky Lynch is Becky Lynch is the best. The best thing about Becky Lynch was when she was a rosebud for the Adam Rose clan.
I'm popping up on your channel.
Her and Braun Strowman coming down to the ring going,
I think the first wrestling match ain't gonna be me and you. It's gonna be me and JLE.
Don't throw punches, throw parties.
And Bailey wasn't throwing punches either. She was throwing hugs.
I love the hugs. I love the Bailey buddies, and I just love the whole thing about Bailey. But yeah, Becky Lynch is fourth on the.
I won't even lie. So did I. You can ask him. I was in love with Bailey.
I have a Bailey shirt that I wore proudly. Gosh darn it.
I think I have like 3 or 4.
Yeah, I'm a hugger.
I'm a hugger. I'm a hugger.
Oh, damn.
Where's that?
Mrs. Jobber just reminded me she got me a Bailey doll. She got me a Bailey doll for my birthday.
Where is it?
I love that there's a Mrs. Jobber off to the side. That's great.
Oh, see?
Yeah, there's a Mrs. Job over there yelling at y'all. She about
Off to the side. She's over there telling you how
Mrs. Jobber's going to slam me through the table.
Okay, I wanted to ask about Tito Santana. Okay,
Yeah.
so obviously King of the Ring, Intercontinental, he was a tag team champ, but as many wins as he had, why do you think that he was not able to win a championship, of that nature, Tito Santana?
I think. Well, I guess we'll leave it to me to answer this one as an old dude. I am a huge Tito Santana fan from way back when. I mean, he was one world championship short of being a full Triple Crown guy, right? He was a solid second baseman. He was in the terms of baseball, he was a solid second baseman. I think where he could have been a world champion was surpassed when Hulk Hogan came in and eclipsed the charisma value, and Vince went the way he went with Hogan. I think if Hogan didn't exist, I think Santana could have been a legitimate world champion material based in the era of Pedro Morales type stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But here's one that always surprised me the most about Tito Santana. It was after his championship victories and this and that and the other. There was a point where he was the final survivor with Hulk Hogan and the Ultimate Warrior against a team of the $1 Million Team at the Survivor Series or something. And at that point in time, there was a lot hotter wrestlers getting pushes than Tito Santana. But somehow he was in that final 3 of those Ultimate Survivors. And yeah, he was the first one to lose. But I think that, but then again, in saying that, once he lost that, he went on to become El Matador and it was all over. So, but there was a point in time where Tito Santana, especially right where him and Greg Valentine were in that Intercontinental title feud, and right where he lost to Savage in '86 at the Garden, February 12th, '86. Danny Davis was the referee that caused Tito to lose to Macho Man's foreign object usage off that atomic drop back into the ring. And I remember this clearly because here's a crazy story for you to tie this shoestring together. They were wrestling in Boston, and there was a house show in Fresno, California, of where I live, and I was here. Ricky Steamboat was wrestling Iron Mike Sharp on an undercard match. His wife Bonnie was here, and she was sitting out front of the dressing room. I was 11, 12 years old, and Scott McGee, who was an undercard wrestler, came out before the show, and we were bothering Bonnie. She gave me money to go get coffee, and I got to go in the back and get coffee for wrestlers like Uncle Elmer, Paul Orndorff, Don Morocco, Roddy Piper. That was my first experience ever going back in the backstage area and actually seeing these guys playing cards and hanging out, bad guys and good guys. And I remember telling Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff, because he was wrestling Roddy Piper, I go, "Good luck, Mr. Wonderful." And he goes, "Thank you, son." And I was so friggin' overjoyed at that, and yeah, that's a great memory. Thank you. Yeah.
It's like the Coke commercial, where the guy gives him the jersey, the kid, "Hey kid," he throws him the jersey,
100%, brother.
All right, you guys, so we're going to get into the quiz now. We have 12 people in there, or am I tripping?
It looks like it is.
Lonnie.
10.
It says 10 people in there. We got 12 people watching. Okay, but so we got 10 people in here now, and then we'll get to some more of your questions after the quiz, so we can get some participation
Not
going
only
on
questions,
for the crowd.
but I found it was the top 10 most hardcore matches. So we're gonna go over that and see if you guys agree where they are in order, and where would you have placed another match if you could. So we'll just talk about all
I'm excited to see this because I wasn't around for this at all, so I don't know what she got planned in here.
Smoke just.
Good luck.
Come here, Finn.
Let's see. So we're going to do some shout outs while you guys are doing the game. Let's start off with Christina. Reckless, even though he could not be here tonight, he wanted to shout you out for your channel because we all know that you're so close to hitting 1K, so we want to do what we possibly can to get you there. So you guys go check out Christina's page. She is awesome. I'm going to drop her link in the chat. Give me a second.
These are tough.
Oh, I'm doing horrible at this.
Is it really hard? Yay, I want it. That's what I wanted, you guys.
Yo, I am getting every one of these wrong right now.
Yeah, this is like the SATs of wrestling questions. I'm like, whoa. Let's
You're
see.
welcome.
I love it.
Everybody's going down.
Wow. Look, he's definitely going to win this because it was so bad.
I don't know either, dude.
This I don't know.
Okay, I got one right.
Oh, I knew that one. I typed it wrong.
Oh, shit. What did I do that? I'm so stupid.
I'm like just getting destroyed here. Oh, this is ridiculous, dude.
That makes me so happy because you're so good at the trivia.
I am. This is hardcore. Yeah, this is hard. I'm going to activate my eraser.
Wow. Yo, I only got one answer right so far. I'm so bad. No idea.
Oh, you're
I'm so bad, yo.
I was close on that one.
So this is literally bragging rights.
This is a sign of the times that my Alzheimer's is coming into play.
I got two. I got two right this whole time. So bad. Wow. This is my show. I'm getting. Whew.
Yeah, this is a tough quiz.
Oh my god.
Oh, this was at 3.
Wow, Duke, 100 points, bro. 100 points. I'm coming. It's like you're the young buck that outlasts the old veteran. I'm like an old troubadour, and I came in on a song. I'll be an old troubadour when I'm gone.
Well, I'm happy to know that with 4 answers right, I'm in 3rd place.
Eric, do you have the person that you wanted to shout out tonight?
Oh my god.
Yeah, I sent it to you.
Yep, I wanted to give you the honors of introducing them.
Yeah.
I'll post it right now for you. Who are the lovely people?
This is hard, man. Like, my god.
Yeah, that was a tough one.
That was hardcore. Get it?
Definitely.
I'm excited.
Way to go.
4th freaking place.
I'm not high.
So bad.
Wait, what
Yeah.
place did you pick? Out of
4th.
Oh, that's not bad. It was 10 minutes.
I got 5 questions right out of 15. So, or wait, 12?
It was
I got Mikey Whipwreck.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Hardcore is not my forte.
The hardcore guys were with me on that one, I guess. But it was still hard.
On a Budget is the channel that Eric wanted to shout out tonight.
His name is not Eric, okay? It's Macho Owens.
I'm sorry, you guys. I'm a horrible hostess with the mostest today.
Jesus. Oh, wait, maybe he is Eric now. He doesn't have his cape on anymore.
What's another question? I'm curious. I'm like, what else you got written down in that book?
I got 8.
Well, people are moving up still.
Oh, so now I'm in 5th place. Jesus.
Dang.
iPhone.
That was hard, babe. Good job.
Thank you.
Yeah, very proud of you. You did a fine job.
Mine would have been too obvious. Like,
I want technical wrestling questions next time.
Honestly, before this episode, I had no idea that there was a hard title. So I had no idea. So it was like interesting for me to learn as I was creating the quiz too. So that was
that thing was crazy looking too. The hardcore title was crazy looking.
Supposedly it was from an old title from something else, and they just pieced it
together. WWF,
WWF.
It was the belt that Mr. Perfect smashed on Saturday night's main event against Hulk Hogan. It was an old winged eagle belt.
I actually thought about buying that belt too. I'm not even gonna lie.
I did too. I want the Daniel Bryan Earth Friendly one too.
I hated that one. I hated that one.
That's so ridiculous.
So is the title that you got, Duke, is that the same title? Did they just like bring it back when the WWE did their rendition of it? Was that the same title? Like, is that what it looked like?
It's the same thing. Yeah, it's pretty much the same concept.
All right.
I don't think they changed anything on it
back in the day, so I
don't think they changed anything on it. In fact, hold on, let me look it up just to double check.
Because the only thing that I know about really not even AEW, about ECW really was their rendition, the WWE's rendition. I didn't really watch it like that.
Yeah, no, it looks
$9.99 a month changes your life, even though it's terribly dubbed over and the music sucks.
Oh my gosh, yes. I watched one time and it was like they played music the entire match. I was like, what is it?
Oh, that's the gangsters coming out with the Natural Born Killers. But again, WWE dubs over that with and it's like, this is awful. But because the gangsters would come out and Natural Born Killers would play the whole time, and they'd be bashing those guys with fire extinguishers and cheese graters and kendo sticks, and Natural Born Killers just blaring, and you're like, this is sick.
Oh.
But then those edited WWE Network music ones are just awful.
Oh, this is the second rendition.
Oh, it is? So it did look different?
You had another title, another world championship first, and I guess this was the redesigned version. And then the WWE just kept this one, I guess.
Yeah, that's the version.
I mean, until they changed that silver one.
Yeah, because I see Sandman holding this one. I'll send you the pictures later, proper, but I see Sandman holding this one, and I see Sandman holding another one.
Well, you could send it to me right now. We can... Or send it to me right now. We can pop it up on the screen.
All right, so
that silver one was so horrible. Who was the one who took that title and then like it first changed when they did that?
Christian, I think.
Was it Christian? Yeah. What was he Christian at that time?
Mark Henry, I believe. Mark Henry or Matt Hardy?
I know Matt Hardy had it too. Yeah.
No, Big Show had this one. Then Bobby had this one. Who had this after Bobby? Vince McMahon.
Did Matt Hardy have it at one point?
Yeah, he had it, but he didn't have that version. He had the other one.
I forget who had the silver rendition. I think it started with Mark Henry.
Okay.
Yeah, that was so ugly. That was probably one of the ugliest belts they ever made.
Yeah, I would agree.
And our shout out is gonna be Fabian's Funko Pops. We recently just purchased his first ever mystery box off of Instagram. So shouts out to you. We got a where is he at? We got Andre the Giant Walmart exclusive.
I want to see this. I'm sorry to interrupt, Proper, but I want to see this. I gotta have to go subscribe to this Funko Fun on a budget, because I know that my budget for Funko, there ain't no budget. The budget's out the window. So I got to see what these guys are doing.
So the thing is, she's a young girl. She's about 16. She just started out.
Yeah.
If you go to her video, it's the Apple, I believe it. Let me double check here. It's the Big Apple Collectibles.
Okay.
So Big Apple Collectible video. Okay.
Hold on.
And if she gets to 100 subscribers, I'm going to give away a $25 gift card to your choice. So if you hashtag, you have to obviously subscribe, but if you hashtag two boys sent me, you'll be entered in for the $25 gift card, your choice, wherever you want to go. But she's doing some great reviews. She's starting out. Obviously, we all started out. We all were in that situation. And when you're like, to me, when you're like these 16-year-olds, 15-year-olds, you have, these channels that are doing it on their own, like Xavier, who's did a great job with his Splat toys. But you have these channels that need the support, and so it's always good to give them that little bit of boost.
I'll tell you something. I had a kid, I had something amazing happen the other day, if I can just share this story. I had a kid who's 12 years old write us on our Instagram account, and he said he watches the show, and he said that he's starting a YouTube channel based off watching our show. And I'm like, I was like, well, I'm glad somebody's. I need something to watch because mine's terrible. So I'm glad that you're doing it. But it was just such an honor to have him say that, and it was just like, wow, like who knew, And it was touching. So right now, as I'm commenting too, let's say it out loud one more time because I can have my own Easter egg. Say her name out loud. The show out loud again.
Funko Fun on a Budget. Her name's Ava.
Yes, Ava, right here. Watch this. Here it comes. Here comes your comment and your subscription. Am I number 244, 144, 144? Boom. She looks like she's having a good time.
Fabian's the same thing too. He's a
yes. There you are. Two boys sent me, and she's already displaying energy that is fantastic. And gosh darn it, I'm going to be watching and supporting. So there you go, sister.
Well, we also we created a intro for her. I made her an intro. She's also looking to, like, the Funko Fun on a Budget is not necessarily a thing that's going to stick. She wouldn't mind having like a different name, maybe a little bit shorter, but we're trying to like be creative. So, also if you guys have an idea for maybe, if you watch some of her videos and maybe gave her,
I'm already
like I said, I bring her up because, like I said, when it comes to Funkos and budgets, that's just not something that I can even try. I need to watch for tips and tricks.
But that's what I look at as, we got, our channels, we always try to start out. I mean, I remember when you get subscriber 1, and you're like, oh my God, wow, and then next thing you know, the ball starts rolling, and then you're like, okay, well, I'm on the stage now, so I got to perform, I got to do stuff, and it's fun. That's the journey of it. Not all of us have the opportunity to get up to the amount of subscribers that we have without the support. It's not going to happen.
True. Yeah.
100%, brother. And and I'm telling you what, she just looks like she knows what she's doing already. So we're sold. You're in.
Hi, DEADZONE. Welcome.
Hey, look who it is.
What's up, yo?
What's up, DEADZONE?
Hey, what's up, man?
Box number 3.
No, we want the very first mystery box you purchased this year.
So, JLH, did you want to shout out your channel real quick?
Yeah, I think we chose Taco Pops tonight, right? Yeah. If you haven't seen Taco Pops, I highly recommend going because the dude is unlike, as much as we all talk about the same thing, he's unlike any of us as far as what he's doing down there in Australia.
Oh, yeah.
He is one of a kind, and he is a slammer, baby. So go check out Taco Pops and just check him out because he's worth subscribing to, and he's different than all the rest, and I'm a big fan of different than all the rest, even though we're all talking about the same stuff. Gosh darn it.
DEADZONE, what's the craziest match you ever heard of or seen or anything?
So let me tell you, because you already talked about this a little bit, and I've been listening in. Just been trying to take care of some home stuff.
Yeah.
But so Tito Santana, that shows you how old I am, right?
We.
So, yeah. So let let me just tell you that Tito Santana is family on my side, on my wife's side. So by marriage, okay. So her cousin, her second cousin's daughter is married to Tito Santana. So we know a little bit about that. So the thing is that wrestling hasn't been a big part of what I've been about, but you know, we've been involved as far as like some of the family stuff. You know, some Kelly's second cousin has told us a little bit about that, but we haven't been like involved in all that. But so we kind of are, you know, biased to that part of it. But you know, it is, you know, when we kind of thought about that type of stuff, and we were told about that in our other parts of our family and stuff like that, we kind of looked into it, and it's like there's so much stuff going on there. It's just crazy. Mm-hmm. It's like when I was when I thought about wrestling when I was a kid and everything, you know, it was like the majors and stuff like that. So first I liked the Junkyard Dog. I told you about that the other night.
Yep.
You know, that was like one of the things that I really liked, just because it was like he was just like out there. Mm-hmm. You know, it was one of those things that kind of just stood out to me. So, and obviously, like all the other players that were during that time, you know, Hulk Hogan obviously is a major player, you know, definitely. In the whole thing and everything. You know, like I never knew about like The Rock and all that stuff, because that was like later on and everything. But as far as wrestling went before that, it was just like there was just like so many things going on during that time. You know, it was just like, you know, it was I liked Junkyard Dog just because of the whole aspect of being just like a crazy.
Yeah, he was crazy.
Games and doing all that stuff. Just because when I was during that time, that was just me. You know, I mean, I was long hair, still long hair now, but even then, you know, it was like the thing. It was like he's like one of those guys that this like made sense to me. So it was like it was good. But you know, it was for wrestling for me was just all about the antics. It was all about the who was going full force and 100%, doing all the you know, doing everything that you know, that just you know, Hulk Hogan was out there and stuff, and I wasn't really a Hulk Hogan fan, just because he was like the favorite and everything like that. And I was always kind of like an underdog kind of guy. So, you know, any underdog guy I was going for, even now with everything with sports and everything like that. I'm always an underdog kind of person, you know, whoever hasn't won it first and hasn't won it at all, I'm all in.
Whoever has the least opportunity, that's usually the guy I like too.
Well, let me tell you something there, DEADZONE. I wrestled the Junkyard Dog in November 7th, 1985. And I I was flipping him around, and we were fighting in the ring, and he was able to knock me out on the floor at the ringside tournament. He was an opponent. I definitely remember that junkyard dog.
What's up, Eric?
So another channel that I wanted to make sure gets the recognition that they definitely deserve is Dangerous Jobbers. They're 10 away from 100 subscribers right now. And so if you guys haven't subscribed to them already, they have a podcast as well. But because they're known for their podcast, but they're doing YouTube at the same time. But if you guys haven't subscribed, you should go and subscribe.
Best of both worlds. Best of both worlds.
Now I have a question. I have a question to ask you. Since you're doing the podcast and the YouTube, what do you find more challenging to prepare for? Or, you know, I mean, obviously when you're in YouTube, you're actually being seen, but on the podcast, you know, you have a little bit of a flow, you know, just talking in the mic. What do you enjoy the most, or what do you find, you know, most challenging about those two?
I think at least for me, the most challenging part is probably the podcast because, you know, just the setup and everything like that. Like when it comes to the setup, I don't touch anything when it comes to setup. He's the tech guy. So he's the tech guy, and then I brainstorm on what we're going to talk about, what we're going to discuss, and we just go right on in. I like the podcast a little bit more because on the podcast, I can be unfiltered, unbiased, and all that. But I like the YouTube side too because I like interacting with people, like whether it's on a live like this or they can see what I get and actually get a firsthand view with me.
That's dope. I like that. You guys, that's
a good thing about being teamed up with somebody, you know?
Yeah, perfect. That's kind of how we came together. You know, he likes the jobbers of wrestling. I like the dangerous people of wrestling. We just put the best of both worlds together.
Who's Mr. Macaroni?
Who's what?
Mr. Macaroni.
Mr. Macaroni.
Nobody wants to claim he won the quiz.
Who?
Mr. Macaroni got first place, and then Dangerous Duke, then Stoppin' Funko, then Lonnie L.
Mr. Macaroni? Who the heck is Mr. Macaroni? What in the world is going on here? Claim.
I'll be right back.
Wait a minute.
That's my agent. That's my agent.
I'm telling you, that was probably DEADZONE and his alter ego, and that's why he made it late because he was over there.
That might have been reckless. He's playing over here as somebody else.
I think it's great.
That'd have been crazy if that's him playing as Macaroni.
So DEADZONE said that he would graciously, I know he just walked away, so we're going to kind of segue into something else until he gets back in here. But he graciously said that he will open a box from his pop tomb, as I call it, just his closet full of mystery boxes that haven't been opened, and it's like a ton of them. So he said that he would open one tonight on our live, so we'll give him the time to do that once he gets back in. But we can start talking about the most hardcore matches of all time. So the first one that I have on here, this is it's Edge versus Mick Foley in WrestleMania 22.
22, okay.
That was crazy. Like that legit was pretty legit. I liked this match. Like it was a good story between the two. I think this was like, wasn't this Mick Foley's like return? Almost?
Yeah, he retired and then he returned to kind of help Edge, you know, get him pushed over. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that was pretty dope. Like, yeah, and then they go through this crazy fire table, and that was crazy.
Wait, did anybody catch on fire? I wasn't into wrestling.
Yeah, he went straight through the flaming table. He speared him in there, and then
Edge lost a piece of his hair in the process.
Oh my!
Yeah, somebody like they usually do. Somebody came out there with the fire extinguisher, I think, right?
Yeah, Edge did an interview a few years later, and he said Mick Foley was smart. Mick Foley he was like covered head to toe in clothes, so his skin wasn't completely burnt, but Edge was wearing this like this flame retardant gel or something that wasn't really flame resistant at all. And Edge ended up getting more scars and burns from that mark than Mick Foley did.
Dang, that's
it looks
crazy.
like it. You can see it, like he's like immersed in there.
But Mick was the one who like completely went back first, and you would think Mick got the most of that, but it turns out
probably
Edge.
fire resistant clothes on, honestly.
The Edge was the one who got
been through more of the matches. He's been through more of that type of thing, so you would assume that Mick Foley would know, how to prepare himself.
He went in fully prepared. He's like, this ain't my first rodeo.
Oh, but let me tell you, nothing compares to the fire I have for Elizabeth. Oh, yeah.
Wait, so do you guys? So this is number 10 on the list of top 10 hardcore matches of all time. So do you think that this is where it should be placed on the scale, or do you think it should be one?
I'd have to see what's after.
I would have to see what.
Yeah,
what
we have to see the whole
after,
list before we can really make a decision. Because if they,
but this could be from your personal list. Like, what do you think as far as hardcore matches of all time? You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, it was dope, but I don't think it was the. I don't even think it would.
I don't think it would hit my top 10.
list.
Yeah, it wouldn't be in my top 10.
It might hit number 10, but I don't know.
It might hit number 10 if there were another 10 to go, baby. I mean, yeah, that wouldn't be on my top 10. Not a bad match, but nothing I would. Whoever. I mean, somebody says it's a top 10 match. I mean, I'd love to see the person who made the list.
I got to see what the rest of it is.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair.
So, well, Eric, you see in that picture, what comes to mind first? Like, what do you think about when you see this?
Well, I mean, like I said, it is hardcore, and I mean, you're obviously dealing with fire and flames. I mean, you're sending, that type of message right there with wrestling. You're just adding that, to the match. I mean, that's what makes it nice. Is like, okay, like, oh my God, what's going on? Like he comes out of the ropes, there's fire. Like, I mean, it's the excitement. It's that level. So I mean, as a fan, when you're in the stands and you're watching that.
You're probably mind-boggled, like, what?
Yeah. So, I mean, you definitely, that would be something I definitely would like to be in the stands to watch.
Yo, everybody, we lost to Reckless Pop's little sister.
That's who Mr. McAfee is.
Hey, talk about hashtag Rick.
You know what? I think not only is Mama reckless, but I think there might be another reckless in the family over there cheating.
Hashtag Rick. Hashtag Rick.
I find it funny that Reckless isn't here and the little sister wins.
It has to be.
Let me tell you something, Tiffany Farrell. There's more than enough room for promo spots and promo shots, sister, because there's more than enough things to say and things to display. And if The Rock was going to give up his spot, The Rock would take that spot. He'd turn that sumbitch sideways and stick it straight up. You're a candy ass. That's what The Rock would do.
Hashtag Reckless Rick.
Oh, yeah, because we got it. Wait. Oh, where's Elizabeth?
That's right.
Where are you? My heart burns for you, Elizabeth. Oh.
Give me the Pepto-Bismol. My heart is burning for Elizabeth. Ooh, yeah.
All right, DEADZONE.
Something, Gene.
What do you have for us?
All right, so box
number 344.
No, that's just my PO box number. Send me stuff to my PO box.
That's a really big mystery box run. 344.
This is Smile World.
Oh, Smile World. I like Smile World.
So
you know the details on it?
See right there?
Oh yeah.
Go ahead and send me stuff to my PO box.
Nice shameless plug.
You might have got something today from me.
I do have something from you today. It is.
Can we open
the room?
I
did get something from you today. All
right.
right.
I told him he had to open it before December.
Oh,
that's a nice timeline. Give us some time.
DEADZONE is so bad with opening mystery boxes that he has to be told that he has a deadline.
I'm horrible at it. Let's see. Let me see when this one was. This was. don't know if this has a date on it. A long time ago.
That one's from 2009.
So we'll just open it and see what happens.
2009, before.
What if
Funko
it was a
Pops.
grill during that time and now it's just
Hey, this,
it was at $100 value.
we could have a
Had value, now we're
Ducky
down.
in there, you know, you never know.
You never know. Maybe the pops that he got in there were worth nothing, and now they're worth millions.
Before you open that though, Dead Zone, how do you do that? How do you just have boxes and not be tempted to know what they are, or be like, oh wait, I need to open this, like, and they just sit there and stare at you and be like, open me. And you,
Exactly. We all wonder this.
I just want to piss you all off. All right. Ready?
Well, I've seen them both actually. I think.
You know what that is?
It's JLH's favorite type of Funko Pop.
It's probably a Vegeta. Vegeta.
how many Vegetas are there?
I think there's like 28 Vegetas or something like that.
There's more than that.
Yeah, we talked about it on your live the other day. I forgot what somebody said. There was like 28 or something.
Hey, it's a Vegeta.
Hey, Two Boys, did you get that one, by the way?
I do have it. I haven't opened it yet.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to do my best impression of Dead Zone.
All right. So there's that one. Let's see if we can come up with the next one.
What could it be? I think I see a. Oh, I thought I saw Mr. Freeze. Whoa, that's a cool one.
That's dope.
I think that's like a $40 or $50 pop if I'm not mistaken.
It looks like the whole thing glows. Oh,
Where's that from? Who is that from?
Smiley World?
No, the line. What's the white lady from?
Is that Myth and Legends?
That's actually pretty cool.
Legendary Creatures and Myths. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's actually on my want list. Yeah, that's definitely a cool ass shot. That whole thing glows too.
That's so sick.
Two more.
Oh, there's two more in there. Wow. Okay. You guys, this is like
Right. This one didn't have a ducky. So.
Oh, you didn't get a. Were they doing duckies when they first started though?
No duckies on this one.
That was 2 years ago. What's up, Sarah?
Let's see what this is. See what it looks like.
Oh, nice.
I bought him that sporadically.
That's a good one.
I'm okay with that.
I actually wanted to get that one. I'm not even gonna lie. I seen it in the store and I was this close to getting it.
Well, there's two different renditions of him.
It was just the regular version.
He's in good shape too. You guys, JLH's power just went out, so he won't be joining us for the rest of the live.
Oh
no!
Yeah.
Yeah. You would have loved that Vegeta pop though.
Move the stuff off the bro.
I was gonna say, you know what Dragon Ball Z pop I want to get? Broly.
Power.
And the Broly chase is dope.
Yeah, I want to get the Broly.
Power one. I need to get a
drum roll.
A new. I need to get the pop protector that has the green slime on this for this one.
Oh
yeah. So to look like the OG.
Yeah, that one, the older one. What is that? That chase one is going for like $400.
Yo, that thing is cool. That thing is badass. That glow on there, I mean the glow slime and everything is dope.
Dibs.
We're okay with this one, though.
Dibs.
Kelly's super. She's definitely into these ones, so we're good.
That's dope.
No, she only likes Jason Voorhees. Don't try to put her on Alien too. See now here's the thing. I get a mystery box. I buy a mystery box from like Smile World or whatever, and I get it and I put it on the floor, and like in the middle of the night I have to run downstairs and I'm like staring at it and I'm like saying, okay, like I gotta open this thing, you know? Like I can't. I want to know what it is, and DEADZONE just lets it, have vacation, in the house and just constantly just builds up. It's like it's amazing how you can have that restraint.
He's like, yeah, I'll just get to it when I get to it. I know it's there.
But hey, you know what?
Yeah, maybe that's the trick because DEADZONE does get some good pulls.
I'm not gonna wait for your box. I'm straight opening that thing.
Yeah, you're more than welcome to open that. Like I said, I'm glad it got to you. It was supposed to be Monday, but I figured it might be a day early.
It's here. I got it.
You got till December 1st.
You want me to open it right now?
I know you don't do a lot of videos, so if you want to open it, you're more than welcome to open it now.
Yeah.
Give me a second. Let me go grab it.
Peer pressure.
All right, so let me ask the wrestling guys. Here's what I wanted to ask you guys. So obviously, when you measure superstars in the WWE, like who would you say is like your top 5 most popular? Like, I mean, it is, when you measure them, like is John Cena more popular for his time in the WWE than say Hulk Hogan was it during his time when you compare?
Oh my God, that's tough. Because John Cena to me is our generation's Hulk Hogan. But I don't know, because Hulk Hogan was literally in everything. He was on cereals, he was in commercials, he was in movies, everything. Like as far as I know, like John Cena's starting to get there, like starting to do that stuff. But
John Cena did some good movies. He's had some decent movies.
Oh, he's a better actor than Hulk Hogan.
I was gonna say he's definitely had better movies than Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, he's definitely hands down a better.
The best movie Hulk Hogan did was
Bodyguard.
He played Thunderlips.
Yeah,
Thunderlips. Yeah. And they were gonna fire. They're gonna fire him for that. They were gonna fire him because they wanted him to wrestle, and he had to go make the movie. So they were gonna get rid of that contract. But there was a talk show host. That I can't remember which one it was. Lobbied for him to. He went on to the talk show, and he gained some popularity, and so they brought him back.
Steve over there sleeping. I don't know. That is a hard.
Out. That's what happened.
That is a hard question though. Like, because they're both like probably easily the top 2 most like iconic wrestling figures out there. Because if you look at John Cena, even though he hasn't wrestled in how long, he's still their top seller in merchandise. Like,
yeah, right. I mean, he definitely is. But he doesn't have. I mean, he has a lot of wins, right?
Yeah.
But does somebody like the Undertaker? Is there guys out there that have more wins than him? I mean, where is the popularity that lies with that? But would you say that wrestling stars are popular because they're being pushed, or they're being pushed because they're popular?
I think it works hand in hand because they, Roman Reigns, for instance, right now, he's like the top guy, but when they were shoving him down our throats, we didn't care for him as much. You take that little bit of, that little a little bit of a push, and you push and you nudge too much. It's kind of like the whole I'm not touching you, you know what I mean? And then and you don't grow to like it. Like it has to be organic, and everybody wanted him to be heel. Now that he's the heel, everybody's like, whoa, like it's amazing. But I think it works hand in hand, because if they don't kind of like shove him down our throats a little bit, he might get overlooked. What do you think, Dangerous?
I agree. I think it is a hand-in-hand type of thing because there's certain guys that they pushed that weren't exactly that popular, and then there were popular guys at the bottom that they weren't pushing. Like Zack Ryder was riding a wave of popularity with fans for a while and not getting a push.
Yeah.
But then you got Jinder Mahal, who was not popular in any way, shape, or form, and they still pushed him all the way through.
You know what? I think at this point you have to push Roman. You have to kind of shove him down their throats because he's brought himself to, like, they've done it to a level now where if they made him a mid-carder, it wouldn't work as a bad guy. You kind of have to have him as the top bad guy now because you've had him as top guy for too long for it to be anything else. So
definitely. All right, Dead Zone. It's before December 1st. So you made the deadline.
Hey, it's
what?
Is this can you guys explain this? Is this like a trade of some sort?
This is kind of like an AOK to Dead Zone. Like Dead Zone has done, obviously a tremendous amount of stuff in the community. He's always been able to help me out. And I've always wanted to have the opportunity to kind of like just send him something, just say, hey. So I know there was a couple of things he was looking for, and I was able to find it. And I just wanted to add a little bit extra in there.
Are you a Hulk fan?
This is super cool.
Are you a Hulk fan, Dead Zone?
Oh yeah.
Hulk smash.
Let me just I'll show you this.
Oh.
Wow, that's awesome.
Oh, that's dope.
That is awesome.
Your son, so he knows I love the Hulk.
That's really cool.
That's sick.
But that's what he drew for me for Father's Day.
Draw better than me.
That's awesome.
So Dead Zone, I want to ask you a question.
What's that?
Who's your favorite person that's played the Hulk?
That'd be good fun, though.
I don't know. There's I have to think about that for a little bit.
It is kind of tough because they've tried and tried and tried, and sometimes.
I mean, it's just
sometimes they have.
Now, are you talking about movies, or are you including?
When I remember the Hulk, I remember Lou Ferrigno.
Yep, Lou Ferrigno, legendary.
Okay.
And that was just that's kind of one of the things that I mean, Edward Norton did a great job, but Lou Ferrigno, I think that's where I'm at.
Okay.
So,
what would you say, Dangerous?
I was probably gonna go Ferrigno as well, just because when I was a kid, Lou Ferrigno was the first Hulk I seen.
Yeah, oh, definitely. I mean,
it's like even when he wasn't playing the Hulk, you seen him and you were like, okay, he's the Hulk.
Yeah, exactly.
It's kind of like Hugh Jackman. If there's another Wolverine somewhere, you're still gonna see Hugh Jackman and be like, he's Wolverine.
Yep.
That's our chase sticker.
Sweet chase sticker.
Wolverine.
Very nice.
Like you say, speak of
I
Wolverine.
need a Chucky pop.
That's pretty cool.
that's awesome.
Your birthday's coming up, so maybe
Ooh,
that's a good one.
I thought Kelly might like that.
Oh yeah.
My phone didn't die. I shouldn't have that.
if only Jason would carve some pumpkins. He's too busy carving flesh.
Mrs. Jobber's on the side. She's like, I would steal that sticker.
Oh, we got the mystery mini.
Ooh.
Oh man. Oh damn.
Do you guys like the pop form of this?
That's from 3.
This is super cool, dude.
Is that Funko related?
Yeah.
Oh,
Actually, I grabbed the second one. I have one that Chris I got from Chris from KNL.
That is super cool, dude.
Cool dude, yeah.
Thank you. Look at this.
Ooh.
Ooh! Now those Funko Pops are amazing.
Nice.
Oh yeah. Is that glow in the dark?
Yeah, I think so.
It looks like it is.
Wow, that's dope. That would freak out Simone if you had that shirt on, just coming out of nowhere in the dark.
Cool.
I can't
Yeah,
see.
just message me.
Mama J.
Nice. Thank you, dude.
Sick.
Dude.
Oh, and there's a Funko Pop in there.
It's never ending. It's like Christmas.
Well, just remember, you never know when Dead Zone's going to open it, so you got to kind of include all the holidays when you set it up.
Oh my gosh.
I know you said something about that, so I figured that I would open it.
Dead Zone, how many 10-inch pops do you have? Just those 4 that we can see up there?
How many what?
10-inch Funko Pops do you have? Just those. Oh wait, no, there's more than 4.
It's got more in the corner.
Yeah, I see them over there.
Which
What's
about 47?
your favorite 10-inch Funko Pop?
You should see the other room.
Oh,
He's got about like 47 and 10 inches along.
Did you get the 10-inch Hulk Gladiator, the Hulk Ragnarok one?
Yeah, that's right up there on the left, I think, right next to the Hedwig.
Okay.
Yeah, I got 2 of them. So those ones for sure.
I'm looking at it. I'm looking at this collection. I'm trying to see the grails back there because I know you got some.
Nice. Oh.
What is that, Slayer?
Kind of looks like.
Yeah, I was about to say it looks just like Dead Zone.
They made Dead Zone into a pop.
That's right. So you can do a custom. There's your custom pop right there.
Right. All he needs is a longer beard, and that's him.
Nice. Love Slayer.
I was telling them, don't take so long to open up boxes, damn it.
Oh, that's sweet.
That's so sweet.
That's sweet.
True, though. It's very true.
Very much true. Dead Zone is the freaking man.
Eric, you're super fantastic, dude.
Now I just found so the third one, Dead Zone, is on the Funko Shop. I just saw the other one as part of it. As I saw it on the Funko Shop.
I know what this is.
Hey.
Wow. In the collection.
Pretty cool.
Looks like he could be a wrestler.
He could.
Yeah, there you go. You gotta have JLH cut a promo and sound like him.
Eric's the man. What is this?
You're a hockey fan, right?
I am a hockey fan.
Oh, I gotta see this. What is it?
What is it? A hockey puck?
It's official game pop from
So it's the 100-year it's the anniversary, right? That what
Yeah, the 100-year anniversary.
Wow.
Do they usually come in cases like that?
you can get them in there. You can get them for your teams. It just depends.
That's
But
pretty
yeah, this one has it on the actual puck. If you look on the puck.
Oh, that's from the show, the 100. I think is that the logo from the 100.
NHL's been around for 100 years, so so it'd be more now. Obviously, it'd be more because of the years, but
oh, that's dope.
That is super cool, dude. Because I have my pucks over there, so I'm gonna add that to that for sure, dude. And then I don't know what this is, but we're gonna open that next. Last.
That looks like a comic book to me.
Got it. Of the Hulk, I'm gonna call it.
Comic book of the Hulk.
Yeah.
don't make me come through here now, brother. I'm gonna come get you proper.
You need the knife.
You know what they say about Milwaukee? The Brewers are about to brew up some trouble now. Oh yeah.
Dude.
Oh my goodness! Our Bucks sadly just got out.
We would have won if the whole COVID stuff happened. Okay.
Hey, who knocked them out?
They do say the Bucks are out here.
Somebody knows you.
Some hating team.
The Miami Heat did, unfortunately. Oh.
Right here is when you know somebody knows you.
Thank you.
What'd you say, Dezo?
I said this is when you know somebody knows you. And then this happens.
The Ninja Turtles. Hey, that's great.
What a comic.
Super sick.
Yo, those are sick. And they're both Raphael?
Damn.
Sick. You got the Ninja Turtles. That's dope. I love
You
it.
see they're actually making a new comic for them?
Just saw that.
Last year.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you, dude.
Well, thank you for all you do, DEADZONE. Like I said, we just appreciate you being in the community. You've always been able to reach out and help me. So I just glad that I was able to come up with a few things just to kind of say, hey, just appreciate you.
Dude.
And then remember, Chucky appreciates you too.
Ooh, that's the boy I need right there. I love the Chucky.
Got that 10-inch.
Got
Dope.
that.
I like that.
I wish that they would have made it like the more scary version, like with the cracks and the toes and the blood hanging out.
I wanted this version.
Oh yeah. What did you get the FYE version of that?
But I'm hoping they come out with Michael Myers and Jason Voorhees.
Oh, that'd be sick. Like Freddy vs. Jason, the movie.
Well, let's just get some 10-inch pops. I mean, let's get Michael Myers, Freddy Krueger. I mean,
Might as well. We got the pops for him.
Right.
I'm always gonna say there should be a 10-inch Snorlax pop.
Yeah.
Well, they need to make a regular Snorlax pop. They ain't even got the regular one.
Thanks, man.
They just
welcome.
need to jump on that one.
Dude,
At least a 10-inch would be better.
this is super awesome, dude. It's super fantastic.
Well, like I said, I'm sure we all agree, how much you've been able to impact us. So I just want to say thank you.
Appreciate it, man.
By far the coolest dude in the community.
Dude, it's super cool, dude.
You want to show your P.O. box just in case someone wants to send you something, DEADZONE?
Yeah. And just make sure you put on the box open before the end of, give them a date. Otherwise, it might not get
Drop it, drop it, drop it.
You're right. You're right. You're gonna have to definitely every time you send him something,
Put a
make
deadline
sure
on Dead Zone.
deadline on Dead Zone.
Yeah, so if you check out the Funko shop, that the third guy on there is on there. So I know that for the set.
No, yeah, that's awesome. Thank you.
That match was great.
Mitch, I appreciate that.
So this would be match number 9, right?
Number 9 on our board.
On the top 10, according to what website is this that you're watching?
Now, is this the last man standing, or is this the street fight?
I'm not sure. I think this was the.
This is Takeover
Is this the
Chicago
unsanctioned match?
2.
It might be the unsanctioned match.
No.
I would definitely put their match on my top 10 though.
Is this
Yeah,
the
this
one
match-
where they had the last man standing and Tommaso almost lost, but then
I think that was this match. I think this was the last
Johnny
man
had to
standing
do
match.
something stupid and it cost them the whole match?
Their
Yeah.
matches in general are just amazing.
So
Yeah,
everyone was against me because I was rooting for Ciampa, and when Johnny lost, I had the funnest time, like in front of everyone else. I told you it would be.
I love Tommaso Ciampa because he's from here, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. So
yeah, Champ was great. That match was amazing. Anything those two have done has been golden.
yeah, whether they're a tag team or their feud or whatever, like they went extreme. Like they would do moves underneath the mat,
Mm-hmm.
like on the outside, like crazy, right on the concrete.
They make for good friends but better enemies.
Way better.
Oh yeah, KNL, I know.
All right, let's get to number 8.
All right, number 8.
Really?
That's what they have on there.
No.
Judgment
Yeah,
Day.
I mean, I think the only thing that was really hardcore about that match was probably the way JBL was bleeding, because he was bleeding crazy.
That's probably what they put it on there for because
Yeah, but no, I wouldn't.
yeah,
I wouldn't put that on the top 10.
this
I
would
would-
definitely not be
I
one of
would
those.
put Mick Foley and Edge on the top 10 before I put this on the top 10.
Oh, definitely.
And what was the match where with so John Cena, he was on the rope,
But
and
John
the guy would jump off of a chair onto the ropes.
Oh, Sabu.
Sabu,
That's
yeah.
Sabu. Now that one was pretty. I mean, that was a good match. You know, seeing that through. You know, the stuff that he could do and putting John Cena, you know, through that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just think that by the time them two wrestled, like Sabu was already like
Yeah, Sabu was
already
bad.
beat up and old. So like if he would have been like at his prime while John Cena was at his prime, the match would have been better.
So is there another John Cena match that you would put in place of this then? As
No.
far as hardcore matches? Or
I
he
don't
didn't
think
really
John
have any?
Cena is a hardcore match guy.
Yeah, I think that was probably,
Yeah, I've never seen him.
unless you count like his TLC matches, but even those weren't that crazy.
Did he have any crazy like U.S. title John Cena whack rapper matches?
No, I don't think so.
Well, they said that this is
Oh,
around like, the
no,
when the Attitude Era ended, he kind of came out with this, you know, like this match was kind of like in response to that era a little bit. So, you know, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think Cena's had many hardcore matches. I think that might be his most hardcore match.
Right, because I don't think, yeah. When I think hardcore, I don't think of John Cena whatsoever.
Yeah. Even his crazy matches with
This, yes.
Yes, that one absolutely. They went to war.
Absolutely. This
Oh
match
my
was
God.
crazy.
King of the Ring 2001.
Any match with Shane McMahon was hell. Like
Shane could be on the top 10 for every damn match, and I wouldn't be mad.
Well, yeah, like I like the Survivor Series match that he had against
Plus
Kane
my boys in it.
3, the ambulance match.
Was this a street fight?
yes,
Plus my boy was in that match, so I gotta put it
It
in.
was a street fight for King of the Ring.
Oh, crazy.
Yep, it was a street fight
You
for
gotta
King of the
clear.
Ring. It's one of the matches that made me love Shane O'Mac. He got dropped straight on his head like twice.
Yeah, they both got messed up in that match. They were both talking about how they barely knew what was going on after they went through there.
What about didn't Cena have a good match like with the Undertaker? That was pretty good.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, but I don't think that was hardcore
match either. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Like, he's had really good matches, but they were never really hardcore matches.
Okay.
Because I know he had one with Biker Taker.
Yeah.
It was one of my favorite matches. He had it at Vengeance, and he was still young and cocky, and Taker just wanted to teach him some respect.
Yeah, I think that was like 2003, 2004.
Yeah, he had like one of my favorite promos. He was like, first I'm gonna get in there, I'm gonna beat him up, that's gonna shut him up, then I'm gonna bust him up. I was like, yeah, I love this. But yeah, I wasn't a hardcore match either.
Now, do you think that Cena is not as hardcore because that was the image that the wrestling wanted him to have? Like they wanted him to be the golden boy.
What happened to the camera?
With the camera.
Yeah, no, I don't think Cena could have even been hardcore if they wanted him to be. That just wasn't his MO as a wrestler.
It wasn't.
Okay.
He's just, his style is like brawler.
I think Randy could have been more hardcore if they let him than John Cena.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he still punk kicks people in the face. Like,
yeah, John just wrestles more safe. Like it's not really in his.
I think Cena's most dangerous matches were probably with
Eddie Guerrero. Eddie Guerrero with that street fight that they had, or
that could be a hardcore.
That was cool when he had that match against
with all the cars around.
Yeah, with all the cars around, and that was dope. That was
like more Eddie Guerrero's wheelhouse too.
Yeah,
Eddie Guerrero could do stuff like that.
They were all like low riders.
Man, that was crazy seeing people going through cars.
I would put that up. I would put that as more hardcore.
Yeah,
it's definitely not a top 10, but it was more hardcore.
Good night, Dead Zone. Dead Zone was off to eat dinner with the fam, so I just want to say good night to Dead Zone.
Good night, Dead Zone.
Dead Zone. So, do you guys think that the Kurt Angle versus Shane McMahon should be number 7, or is it still on the top 10 for sure?
That is up there for me. That one
probably number 7.
But I'll see what's more. I see what else is on the list.
I think for now,
I'm writing them all
accurate.
down, and then I'll give you like my order.
Yeah, I would say that too.
I fucking love this match.
Oh,
I didn't mean to curse, but I love this match.
Oh, that's all right. This is a custom.
Raven versus Big Show.
I love everything about that match.
Yeah.
I honestly don't remember this match, so
proper. We watched this match.
At the
hotel. Did we watch the whole thing? We didn't watch the whole thing, though, did we?
Yes,
we did watch this match.
But we did. Oh, this is where he came out with the cart, right? He came out with the cart.
This is when Kane ran over Raven with the golf cart.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, this was a crazy match then.
Yeah, I love this match. Raven just being the little guy and still going crazy.
I mean, these big dudes in here too. Like,
yeah, I believe
Kane and Big Show. They've done some crazy stuff in their WWE. I mean, in their careers in general. Like,
yeah,
and didn't Raven won like what 25 times? Like, I mean, he was a big
something crazy like that.
Yeah,
27.
Yep.
27.
Well, you know what? R-Truth had a 30-time 24/7 champion.
Yeah.
They were trying to take Raven out the record books, and they used R-Truth.
What's that?
They were trying to take Raven out the record books, and they used R-Truth.
Yeah, that's what I think that they were doing. Yep, because they'll never be able to use the hardcore title again because of the era that we're in. So they brought in their own little twist.
He completely hates R-Truth.
That they added a rule to like eliminate it eventually, because it ended up having 240 champions because of the 24/7 rule being added like 2 years after the hardcore title was created.
And what are we at right now with the 24/7 title? Like 78?
I don't have no idea.
We're getting close.
I don't understand why they did that to the hardcore title, but I don't think that they wanted to keep it around, to be honest. But it'd have been dope if they did.
Yeah, I think the 24/7 title is like this generation's hardcore title. This is what I'm gonna steal his line real quick. This is what we're getting in the COVID era.
It's very disappointing if you have to say it like that.
K Titus is here.
Really, really good one.
K Titus.
That's very high on my list.
The Survivor Series.
Yeah, that was after he beat him up.
This is where he actually wore the jeans and the boots.
Oh, SummerSlam. This was
that was the
SummerSlam.
unsanctioned match.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is after the Triple H his back.
He ran him over and
Yo, this was crazy because this was like Shawn Michaels' comeback match.
Was this at the SummerSlam?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this was the SummerSlam unsanctioned match.
I loved this match. This match was awesome. Shawn Michaels should have been dead.
He was down so bad, yo.
K Titus is Godzilla. K Titus is from Japan. Godzilla.
Oh yeah. Oh look, it's Godzilla.
Finn says hi.
From the rising sun.
Okay, let's go to. This is Rock versus Mankind.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that is a good one too.
Royal Rumble.
So these must be just straight up WWE rendition of hardcore matches.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this was definitely hard. This was definitely hardcore.
Oh yeah, he was handcuffed.
Dude, Mankind, Mick Foley took the most brutal chair shots of any other person. He never did the whole. If you see, you know when you see them try to whap him, they always put the hand in. He never did.
Mick Foley took a licking and kept on ticking.
Yeah, and how many times did The Rock hit him in the head straight?
13.
13 times in the head with that steel chair.
I know.
It's amazing the knowledge we have.
Oh my God.
Mr. Jobbers in the background. Oh my God.
I know too much. I watch a lot of documentaries.
That's just crazy. They let The Rock and Mick Foley go to town on one another, and The Rock's not normally a hardcore guy, so he had a great dance partner with Mick Foley.
We can safely say that The Rock was more hardcore than John Cena.
Oh wow.
Oh yeah,
Absolutely.
definitely.
For sure.
Definitely, without question.
For sure.
Was it like a quit match or something like that?
Yeah, it was an I Quit match, and Mick Foley he quit with quotations.
They didn't they say the referee heard him say he quit.
Yeah, but The Rock had an audio play over the PA system that said I quit.
Yep, that's what it was. Yeah, I forgot all about that part.
Like a tape recorder that had him saying I quit.
Yeah, so Mick never really quit the match.
What's up, Zach?
Never quit. He passed out.
Wow.
Yep.
when she throws the chonk latch and it comes back.
While you're sleeping, she just comes up and whacks you right in the head.
Oh my goodness. It's happened.
Ooh.
Oh, Terry Funk?
Oh, Terry Funk.
We got the Funk
versus
Tommy Dreamer.
Foley and somebody, I believe.
This is Edge and Mick Foley.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Edge and Mick Foley
and Tommy Dreamer. One Night Stand, 2006.
Yeah, this could definitely be on the list.
I don't know if I remember this match or not.
Yeah, I could definitely say this is on the list. Would I put it? I actually would put this ahead of mostly everything we've seen so far.
Really?
Oh, this was that hardcore?
You guys go hard, man.
Yeah, very true. If ECW is ahead on the list right now, then
nobody goes harder than ECW.
Well, that was WWE's rendition of.
But it was
still got originals in there.
You still got Dreamer in there. You still got Funk in there.
They do things very different.
You're right. They probably took real bumps.
Yeah, those were ECW hardcore guys, and then you had a WWE version of a hardcore guy with Edge, and he was still able to hang with the ECW guys. So I think that was pretty good.
Oh, I mean, that's why they would bring Mick Foley into stuff. Is if you can hang with Mick, then you're really hardcore. That was your stand.
Go together. Those two words go together.
Yeah, when you think of hardcore, you know one of the top people you think about is Mick Foley for sure.
Yeah, absolutely, he's the hardcore icon.
Oh,
the hardcore match between Raven and Rhino.
You know what? This one definitely.
Shopping carts full of weapons out.
This I actually don't remember.
I do.
This one was good.
They would come out there with everything and the kitchen sink, like literally a kitchen sink.
Literally, babe. Like they had in this match, I think they had the toilet seat.
Yeah, like
I'm gonna have to go.
Signs.
I'm gonna have to go back and watch that match.
They used to come. Raven and Tommy Dreamer used to do it. They used to come down with carts.
Yeah,
throw everything in there and just have a ball for like.
I got a pen around here somewhere.
Oh yeah,
I gotta write this down because I want to watch this match.
We gotta go back and find those. Some of those hardcore matches were.
We gotta give Eric. Eric, you have to definitely. This is a match that you have to watch. If you can try to find a way to see this match was hardcore.
And back then, everything was like there were no rules for
rules.
So dudes were getting straight hit in the head with stop signs and anything you could throw at them.
Didn't they have wasn't there a time period too where like fans were actually bringing stuff into the stadium for them to use
or get out of the stands?
Yeah.
Okay. You take people's drinks and drink them and throw them in people's faces.
Oh yeah. Oh, you'd see that with popcorn, soda, all the time.
The Rock was famous for doing that.
Yep, The Rock was the most
famous out of the crowd and.
Oh, hit by popcorn. Crazy. So this is the #1 match they said of hardcore of all time. You guys ready?
What
do you think it is?
What would you guys say before we even looked at this?
I feel like you're gonna troll us and it's gonna be something else.
No, I'm just wondering.
This is going off the thing. I haven't seen it either.
Might be a TLC.
Based on Foley, is Foley maybe Foley? Something with Foley?
I would think it's something. Maybe it's a Hell in a Cell, like one of the Foley Hell in a Cell.
Yeah, one of the Hell in a Cells. Yeah, if you did like Foley Undertaker. Oh, it's got.
There you go.
That was the one I picked from earlier.
Yeah, you did. I was thinking about it. Yep, that's
all the lovely different renditions of Mick Foley. This is Cactus Jack versus Triple H.
I approve.
Oh, it's one of the greatest.
One
of the truly greatest matches of Triple H's entire career.
So they said that they fired him, and they everybody was mad that they Triple H had let him go. So they did a petition, and they ended up bringing him back, and then they came back as Cactus Jack.
Yeah, they boycotted Raw after they fired him, and all the wrestlers were out in the ring, and they weren't going to work unless they brought Mankind back or Mick Foley back.
And this was the match after that. After they did that, this was the next match that he did to come back into was it?
Yeah.
I think they brung him back and then they beat him up.
Well, that's what he said
that match against him.
Every chance he could to get him beat the crap out of because he really didn't like him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Zach Bonfer said Edge versus Foley at the Mania.
Edge versus Foley. That was 10.
Yeah, that was number 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the number 10 one. So, what do you guys all think? Do you guys agree with some, most, or what would you rate? Like a 1 to 10
for a WWE list? It just strictly WWE matches. It's not a bad list. I mean, there's definitely some other matches you could put on there.
So, what matches would you put on there?
I mean,
definitely WrestleMania 17 TLC.
Yep, TLC, the best match ever.
Yeah, I would put that on there.
I would throw in Shane McMahon versus Kane in the ambulance match. I liked that. I like that that John Cena Eddie Guerrero match that we were talking about.
Yeah, that can go on there. I just remember something. I forget what year it was, but I know it was Armageddon and it was a 6-man Hell in a Cell.
It was eight man, I think. I think it was 8-man.
It was The Rock, Stone Cold, Undertaker, Kurt Angle, Rikishi, and I think Jericho, maybe.
Oh yeah, maybe it was a 6-man, but they had
when Undertaker chokeslammed Rikishi off the top of the Hell in a Cell into the back of the truck. I would throw that on there definitely.
I mean, you could put damn near any one of the Undertaker's Hell in a Cell matches in the list.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Shane
McMahon, Mankind.
Right. You got the newer Shane McMahon versus Undertaker. Like that match could even go in there.
Yeah, I would put
But there's so many of them that you could put in there. Like I liked even the Brock Lesnar versus Undertaker.
The Hardy Boys versus like 2 months.
Yeah, when Shane fought Miz at SummerSlam.
Shane and Vince.
Which one are you talking about?
When Shane McMahon fought the Miz at SummerSlam a couple years back. Remember when wait, was it SummerSlam or Mania?
I think it was Mania.
When his dad came out.
That was Mania. Because remember, that's his WrestleMania moment.
What, this one?
Mm-hmm. Let me see.
Any match where Shane is falling from something really high.
Even when you see Vince McMahon versus Shane McMahon at WrestleMania 17.
Mm-hmm.
But the WrestleMania 17 just arguably is like one of the best ever pay-per-views
of all time.
That's not the best. It's up there.
All right, what about what would you guys say about Sabu versus Rey Mysterio, ECW?
Absolutely.
I would when he slammed him on the table.
That's what we're looking for. We're looking at that right now.
Yeah, and the table slid the wrong way.
Woo! Crazy.
I would throw in the Dudley Boys versus Sandman and Dreamer.
Oh,
that match you can't really find on YouTube anywhere though.
Throw in Dreamer versus Tommy Dreamer versus Raven from their like classic
original ECW.
Days.
Okay.
What about Rob Van Dam? Rob Van Dam was
famous.
Extreme.
Yeah, Rob Van Dam was pretty extreme. I can't really think of extreme matches off the top of my head for Rob Van Dam. He's been in so many.
Some with RVD and Sabu.
Jeff and the Undertaker.
What about Kane and the Undertaker in an Inferno match?
The Inferno matches were a little different. Like I don't really know how to count the Inferno matches.
I mean, they were extreme. They were hardcore. I mean, they weren't. I mean, like you said, like
they were crazy.
Their own different category. They're not necessarily per se hardcore, but
I would say Jeff fought the Undertaker for the WWE title in like 2000, 2002, 2003.
Who?
When Taker was the American Badass and he fought Jeff in the ladder match.
Yep.
Oh yeah, that was sick. And then Jeff Hardy kept saying like, "Hey, I'm not done. I'm not done.
Yeah, I'm still standing.
Something. I'm still standing." Yeah, that was dope.
Yeah.
And then of course he said Undertaker, Mankind.
That was theatrical.
98.
What else? Even the new War Games matches.
Oh yeah, those are cool.
They're sick.
I mean,
I just want to say, I mean, it wasn't a hardcore match, but I remember one of the matches that always stood out with me was Ricky the Steamboat Dragon and Jake the Snake Roberts. You know, and we have those type of matches, or you have like Honky Tonk Man and Jake the Snake. You know, like they always
Honky Tonk Jake the Snake
matches. You know, for me growing up, you know, it's like that's kind of one of the things I wish that you could get hardcore back then. You know, it would be kind of interesting, especially with Honky Tonk Man. You know, he had his guitar. You know, so I mean, and you had the Snake with Jake the Snake Roberts. So I mean,
I've always liked wrestlers that had like the guitar and use it. Like Jeff Jarrett, he used to be legendary for using his guitar. Like if they would have did that a little bit more and had the cooler guitars, like I don't know what kind of guitar Elias had, but that thing don't break like with the dust particles everywhere. It don't break.
Yeah, it doesn't break like a classic guitar.
Those classic guitars back in the day, Jeff Jarrett used to smack.
It breaks like a flea market guitar.
They must have got like the generics or something. I don't know.
Neck nose, slap nuts.
Nice.
Let me ask you guys. So, which wrestler in the last, say, 5 years would you say is WWE's most well-rounded performer? Whether it's like the ring work, the aspects of the business, the charisma, like
Eric, you keep going in and out the mic.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yep.
Can you hear it? Hear it better?
Yeah, right there is better. Yeah.
Okay. I bought a new mic, and so I'm testing it out on the angles, so I'm trying to figure all that out. But okay, so the wrestler in the last 5 years,
Yeah, still can't make it
No,
out.
we still can't hear you. Like you'll start talking and then it just like goes out.
It was going fine up until about 5 minutes ago.
What about now?
It's still kind of
It sounds like
fuzzy.
you're underwater.
All right, can you hear me now?
Yeah, right there.
All right, I'm gonna unplug that one and just go with the other stuff here. Okay, so you can hear me.
Yeah.
Perfect.
All right. Now, which wrestler in the last 5 years is WWE's most well-rounded performer? So obviously the aspects of ring work, business, charisma.
Easy.
What would you say? Would you say like the Miz?
I would. Oh, you know what? If we're talking about the most safe worker, I would say the Miz. But I'm saying if I was to pick a person, I'm gonna say Randy Orton, easy, hands down. He looks the most clean to me when he wrestles. He's got that ick factor. You can hate him and you can love him at the same time. Like to me, that's probably it. But if we're talking about newer wrestlers that aren't as established, I would go Seth Rollins.
Okay.
I think I'm gonna go Randy.
See, Randy Orton, yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go Randy. Randy he's been consistent for so many years, and even when you think he's starting to hit that fall off,
exactly,
something changes. Like he doesn't change much, but he just changes it enough, and he makes it work.
Like he almost really lost it when they did the whole Wyatt thing. Like
that lost me a little bit, but I predicted him to win that Rumble.
But not even that. Like I loved that he was even saying like, I'm not going to cash in on you. I'm not going to fight you. I'm not going to fight you. And then he kept playing like going at live shows and fake RKO and like Luke Harper and stuff like that. And then all of a sudden he actually like turned on him and it was dope. But that whole like little thing that they did there, with how funky it turned out, they could have killed his career there, but Randy Orton is just so good at what he does that no matter what predicament he's in, he finds a way to make the best of it, and it ends up being like awesome.
Randy Orton is he's one of the type of guys that can take chicken shit and turn it into chicken salad.
I like.
Did you see Zach? Did you see what Jack said? Jeff hitting Beetlejuice over the head was crazy.
Yeah, that was amazing. Proper, have you seen that?
Wait, what am I looking at?
Jeff Jarrett hits Beetlejuice with the guitar.
Oh, I don't know if I've seen that.
You gotta watch that. Trust me, you gotta watch that. It's hilarious.
Is that like a meme or something, or is that
no?
Something?
It happened on WCW.
What?
Okay, so let me.
I could believe that because WCW was just crazy. They would have the most random segments and weirdest things.
Let me ask you: when a wrestler loses a pivotal match, does it change the way that you see that wrestler? Do you think, like I said, there's some wrestlers out there that's very pivotal. Do you look at them differently? Obviously wrestling's not 100% real, but so does winning the titles really, really matter? Or when they lose these matches, are you seeing them differently?
Yes, definitely. Because let's look at someone like Bray Wyatt, for an instance. When he needs to win, he loses. when you don't expect him to win, he wins. And it does make a big difference. I look at Bray Wyatt like I can't even look at the Fiend the same anymore. You know, every rendition that they've given him of his character, he's nailed it out of the park. He's done everything he's supposed to do. But I can't look at Bray Wyatt as the Fiend the same anymore ever since losing at WrestleMania to Goldberg. You know what I mean? So pivotal matches can determine, you know, the drive of a superstar and the motivation and everything going around it.
I think I don't look at the wrestler any differently, but I look at what their direction for him is. Like when a wrestler loses a pivotal match, it makes me view the way they're gonna push him differently. So like with his thing with Bray Wyatt, when Bray Wyatt first came in, you looked at him as like this unbeatable, unstoppable force, like he was gonna be the new Undertaker.
Yeah.
Then when he lost to John Cena at WrestleMania, it was like, okay, well, you know, one thing is one thing. It's John Cena. Everyone loses to John Cena. But the next year when he lost to The Undertaker, it was like, all right, well, I guess he's just not as, you know what I mean?
And
they're not looking for him to be that guy.
Yeah.
And then every time he lost after that, it was just like, well, whatever then. You know what I mean?
Exactly, because that's the sad thing, because Bray Wyatt, you know, Bray Wyatt's like kind of a mixture of two people, Mankind and The Undertaker. And so like he plays those roles very well. In real life, he talks the way he talks on the TV, like what we see. So like yeah, you can totally, to answer your question, like losing a pivotal match can make you look way different at a person, because when you're there and you're in that moment and this is the right time to win and then you lose, like it changes everything.
Definitely.
So do you think the fans are very popular? Like, I mean, there's a wrestler that's very popular with the fans, but the wrestling federations, they might see them a little bit differently. So do you think they listen to the fans and put that in a push, you know, and say, okay, look, we need to get this guy going in a direction? Or do you think they have their own chess match, you know, and they say, you know what, we kind of like this, and, you know, no matter what the fans say, we're kind of going to go in this direction with this guy, you know what I mean? Or do you think there is a lot of influence, you know, from the fans with the higher ups?
I would say that nowadays social media and everything is key. They even hashtag everything and whatever while you're watching the matches. So I think that nowadays they are starting to listen, because, you know, they understand that we want Roman Reigns as a heel. Finally, we've gotten him as a heel. I mean, it took a lot of time for us to get it, but we've got it. And then when you look at something like Daniel Bryan, here's a perfect example. Daniel Bryan wasn't even supposed to be in the main event of WrestleMania. Batista won Royal Rumble, and so he was supposed to face Randy Orton for the title. And because there was so much backlash, people were so mad that Daniel Bryan didn't win that year because he was getting such a push. They added him to the match just randomly because underdog and everybody wanted him to win, so they did it. They'll do it if it feels like it's going to take money away from them, but they don't do it off the rip. They know what people want. They know we want this guy to do this. We know we want this girl to do this, but they will go their route until they see that it's not working, and then try to listen to us.
At least WWE will. I think if it's smart, it's a little bit of both. Like they gauge where they want the superstar to go, but they won't stop a wave if it happens. Most places. WWE, on the other hand, is kind of just like, well, we got this plan, and unless we're up against the world, we're gonna go with our plan every time. Which is what happened with Daniel Bryan. We basically put the whole world against them, and they were like, all right, fine, we'll give him the belt.
Well, everybody at that time was threatening to cancel their subscription that had just come out for the WWE Network. Like, yo, we're not gonna watch the WWE Network if you don't put Daniel Bryan in this match. So they did it because they're like, well, we're gonna be losing money, so let's put him in there.
Right.
It all depends on the almighty dollar when it comes to them and pushing people or not.
Yep.
So what about okay, you look at gimmicks, face paint, right? You got a lot of wrestlers that have face paint. And do you see some of these wrestlers that if they didn't have the face paint, would they be as successful, marketing, I mean, there's a lot of great ones out there that have the face paint. What do you guys think about that? Did the wrestlers thrive by doing that, with their gimmicks of the face paint, or would they been still okay if they didn't have it?
I would look at it as two different ways. Well, mainly just one way. Okay, so I'll use Undertaker to start it off. Undertaker, when he first came out as the Undertaker, he had makeup on his face that made him look deadly, made him look like he was dead. If he didn't have that makeup on, it wouldn't have had the same everything around it. That feeling of this is a dead guy and all this and that wouldn't have worked. Also, if you look at Sting, when Sting came back, okay, so Sting always had face paint in the beginning of his career. He always had like the bright colors and all this and that. To see him change his stuff into the just plain black and white and become dark, it wouldn't have worked if he just didn't have no face paint on and he would have just had his long hair and his trench coat. So it totally makes a difference. I mean, Goldust's whole gimmick is having face paint on. So if he didn't have face paint on, there is no gimmick.
For some people, it doesn't work, but for some people, it wouldn't affect them. But I totally agree. Like, there's certain characters without face paint, it just wouldn't work.
Yeah,
it just wouldn't work.
The Usos, they used to have face paint on, and they were cool.
Right.
They can take the face paint off, and they're still cool.
Right. If it's really a part of your character, then it's not gonna work if you don't have it.
I mean, that's even you look at Goldust now. Goldust, he fights as Dustin Rhodes, but he still keeps half the face paint on, so that he still has that rendition of this is Goldust. You know what I'm saying? Because without that, he might not be as recognizable to everybody.
And I think that's a big part of it. Like Goldust from the 80s and the 90s, it's definitely not Goldust when Goldust came back and Goldust was good. But you gotta keep the face paint. Just because you're a different kind of Goldust, if you come out there without the face paint, it's just not gonna work. So he still does the half because you just have to. Like, it's part of it. Right. It defeats the purpose.
What did Mama Jobber say back there?
He said it's like if Rey Mysterio came out without a mask on.
That's cool.
Or Kane. I mean, would you watch Pennywise the Clown without his get up on?
They do have the pop without him,
and he does actually look kind of scary. I ain't gonna lie.
So what about Hulk Hogan? So Hulk Hogan, in your opinion, was he a better wrestler in the WWE or the WCW?
WWE.
He was two different personalities.
Very true.
He was two different personalities, and in WWE he didn't have control of his person. That was the WWE's product. That's their entity. In WCW, he had creative control, and he could be whatever he wanted to be. I feel like he did both of them perfectly, but I love Hollywood Hulk Hogan. I love him being a heel, and I loved him in WCW more than I loved him in the WWE. But that's because I was in a different era than, say, you were. So it's a different Hulk Hogan for me.
His character was I like the Hollywood Hulk Hogan character more than the America Hulk Hogan.
So somebody put on the Ultimate Warrior, Christopher Knight. So the question I have with the Ultimate Warrior, what do you think? You think the ECW would have been like had the Ultimate Warrior been in there, because there was the Ultimate Warrior was going to be in there, but they wanted him to lose to a certain wrestler, and he didn't want any part of that. So he almost was signed to be in the ECW.
I honestly cannot picture the Ultimate Warrior in ECW.
Me either. That would be so weird to see him.
Like,
over.
I'm just,
yeah, he's so like retro. It wouldn't work.
Yeah,
like,
I think WCW is the best spot for him.
They would
not WCW, WWE.
Yeah, I mean, because the type of wrestling that WWE is not the type of wrestling ECW was or WWE, but he's pretty much Batista and Sting. He's Batista and Sting in one.
Plus, if you put him and Sandman in a match together, I think Sandman is going to probably kill the Ultimate Warrior.
You know what's funny? He's so big and he's so jacked, but you put him up against any like really famous ECW guy, I don't think he stands a chance. Like,
well, I know they had
Taz is just not working. Like, he's gonna get
but that was the biggest thing is they wanted him to lose, and he didn't want to do it, so he didn't go.
They probably wanted him to lose to Taz.
Taz was their guy. Taz was their biggest guy.
Yeah, I think it was Taz. Taz, they probably would have.
This was my favorite catchphrase. Taz.
Now, obviously, wrestling has a lot of backbiting and politics in the industry. So, do you think it's way more evident today, such as like with CM Punk, who obviously had Triple H was against him with his rise? So you see a lot of the politics and backbiting today more so than you did, maybe 20 years ago, 15 years ago. How do you see that?
I still feel like there's more. I think there was the backstage politics are pretty much the same. I think they happened more now when the stars got bigger. Like, I feel like John Cena was a backstage politicker, even though a lot of people say he wasn't.
Yeah, I mean, him and Randy Orton, you hear stories so much about that. Oh, and JBL, you hear so many things about these people. Like, why would there be that grudge if that's not actually true? So there's definitely backstage politicking. I mean,
I will say, within the last couple years, I think that the backstage politicking has definitely calmed down.
It's definitely calmed down, but I want to say, I think that it really calmed down when that whole Hispanic movement happened, where there was people of Hispanic race, like Del Rio and Rey Mysterio were coming out about how they're being treated different, unfairly and stuff like that. Now you see a lot more Hispanic wrestlers on the roster, and in almost every episode you see an Hispanic wrestler. It took a while for us to get to that.
Absolutely. And I agree. There wasn't much. There was definitely rumors about a lot of the Hispanic wrestlers being held down around that time. So
shoot, that's why Juventud Guerrero left.
Yeah.
And that's half the Spanish wrestlers with him.
Juventud left, Super Crazy left, a lot of Spanish wrestlers left because of that.
And Juventud
so you guys, we have enough time for one more question, and then we're gonna get off the air.
Well, okay, I found this out. And I wanted to know your guys' opinion.
Okay.
So, do you know who Freddie Prinze Jr. is?
Yes.
So now I heard that he is now a writer for the WWE. Now, obviously, I remember I remember him obviously being an actor.
Mm-hmm.
So, what would be your thoughts? Is that a good thing for now? He grew up a big wrestling fan, but he is actually one of the writers for the WWE. So,
yeah, he was a writer. I'm not sure if he
still is or now, but
but he was a writer a few years back too.
Yep.
So, how do you feel about that with the Hollywood, connection?
I mean, I think because of the fact that he was a fan as a child, if he's a consistent fan, not just when I was a child and then I forgot about wrestling, I feel like it's different. But I think the WWE needs to hire. I think they need to hire more fans as writers, or people at least to put in their ear what to write about, because if you're just having these Hollywood actors, like all they care about at the end of the day is this. You know,
I agree with that, but I also am not completely opposed to it, because at the end of the day with WWE, they're sports entertainment. They're still an entertainment-based company. So
yeah, that's true.
you have somebody from the Hollywood world that actually has some type of entertainment experience and they're a fan. You kind of get like 2 for the price of 1 right there, so it could work out.
Well, I think for everyone that leaves says that the writers aren't fans, so they don't know what they're writing about, and they say the system's broken because nobody there is worried about like what it's all about, like what it's actually, what the people actually want to see. They're worried about how they can get more people, and it's only been making the writing and the views implode. So I think hiring somebody that's a fan is definitely more what they need to do. And the fact that he's got some like superstar status, if that helps them sign someone that knows what they're doing, then so be it. You know what I mean? If that's what it takes to get somebody in there that knows what the people actually want to see.
Yeah, it'll work out.
Because they're a fan. They're a fan, so they're going to invest in that sport. You know, I mean, they're going to write. They want to see it succeed.
That's what I'm saying. They don't hire fans because they're like not aiming for fans, but because they're not aiming for fans, they lose fans. So it's like it doesn't really help your cause. So you might actually find a fan.
There's actually a video out there on YouTube of Freddie Prinze Jr. because he was on backstage and he cut a promo against somebody, I think Samoa Joe. So if you really want to see it, Eric, you could watch him, Freddie Prinze Jr. try to cut a promo, and it's crazy because
I am not cutting no promo against Samoa Joe.
He's actually okay, but at the same time, I was like, how are you a writer, but you can't do a promo? You know what I mean?
Right.
So if you want to see it, you could, you know what I'm saying? If you want to see it, check it out, definitely.
Okay.
But
hold on.
Oh,
what is Shelby a fan of?
That's what I was just asking. I was like, I have to send her something because it's so cool that she beat all of you guys in trivia.
Right.
Yeah.
She beat in hardcore.
Yeah. What a category to beat everyone at. Like,
yeah, I mean, they definitely was some really hard questions. Hey, what's up, Iconic? So I want to know what Shelby is a fan of. So let's get that, underway, and we can see what we can get. We can get to her.
They said Mickey Mouse and Pixar stuff, any animation.
Okay.
So Shelby, Pixar, do you like Jack Jack?
Ooh, that's a cool one. I like that one.
That is cool. Nice. Solid gold Jack Jack. That's awesome.
Why you look that at me? Why you look that at me?
She's tougher than Joey.
Yo, she's cool though. She was super duper excited to video chat us when we were over there at the hotel. It was funny because she was so off guard. They're like, "Oh, the proper popper's here." No way!
She
like,
was so cool. It was so cool. Yeah.
No. You got to send her an autograph.
Is she? So is she? She likes Jack Jack.
Did she say anything? Did you? Did she comment or anything?
Oh yeah, Shelby said yeah.
She said yes.
And we send that with Reckless, right? To Reckless, there is that right?
I think Mama Reckless is who you would talk to.
Okay, so make sure just reach out to me on Instagram. That's IG, okay, and make sure you reach out to me because I've had that where I've people have won stuff. And I'm like, reach out to me, and then I never hear from them. So I'm like, okay, well,
it's totally happened to us too. So we know, and then we go and hit them up like, yo, did you know you won? Like,
well, and that's the thing. I mean, it's like I don't have a problem trying to send some stuff out, but at the same time, and it's hard because you do get to a point where you are sending out a lot of stuff, but at the same time, I always feel it's appropriate, like in these type of situations too. So.
All right, well, we want to wrap it up here. It looks like either we can reach out to Mama Reckless or Joey and them. We can get their information because I definitely want to send her something too. I thought that was super cool that she won, and
she did real good.
That we did a gift, or a giveaway. But I would love to send her something. So definitely hit us up, Mama Reckless, with that info. Hit up Eric with that info so that we can get her.
Yeah, it was
prizes,
and it was definitely dope for our first time ever having Macho Owens on the show.
Yeah.
Super duper dope.
Let me tell you, Reckless, a man of my position can afford to look ridiculous at any time. But I want you to remember, I am too hot to handle and I am too cold to hold. And that's why you weren't here tonight, Reckless. But that's okay, because I will come find you. I will find you, Reckless, because just remember, I got love for Elizabeth, but I got love for giving you the pain.
You better find him before I do, because I want my title.
Oh,
yo, the inflatable title's gotta be seen on the waist over there, bro.
Oh, don't worry. I'll be popping up on Reckless soon enough.
So your reigning champ is going to end this and let you guys talk about what you have coming up for this week or coming up in general. And then our next live will be Wednesday, 8 p.m. Central on Reckless's channel on YouTube. So, Eric, what do you got going on?
So tomorrow is Sports Pop Talk. We do our sports show on Sundays. That's 1:00 Eastern, and obviously you got the football kicking off. So we'll talk a little bit about that. And then heading into the start of the week, Monday we're going to be on Homespun Geek with McDorks. So I'll be over there for the first time on Homespun. So and then pretty much then getting ready to watch Mama Jade's live on Tuesday. So that'll be the early part of the week.
Nice.
Snap into a Slim Jim.
Need a little excitement.
What about you, Dangerous Jobbers? What you guys got going on?
We just got podcast recording, the usual. I'm gonna stop by and see our boy Reckless because I got a little something I gotta give him. It's gonna be for Wednesday, so if you guys want to win it, you got to tune in for that one. I think they froze.
You got them all frozen.
Did they freeze? Did they freeze at that comment?
They're like, whoa, really? All right, you need a little excitement? Snap back. Let's go.
They really frozen right now. That's hilarious.
Well, hey, Dangerous Jobbers, it was a pleasure being on with you guys. I definitely want to get a chance to hear your podcast sometime.